welcome to the Absolute Football Podcast, Absolutely Lower League, the show dedicated to everything from the EFL Championship, League One, League Two, the Vanarama National League, and the Vanarama National League North and South. And do you know what? I'm really excited this week because me and Ben have to wait until the end of the show usually to talk about our leagues, but we are doing a National League North and National League South first because
a non-league.
Why not? Why not, Aben? But of course, I couldn't do it alone. And do you know what, Ben? I will come to you first, my National League buddy. How are you and how's your week been?
Yeah, I'm all right. The weather's been a bit depressing recently down south. So, no, it's not. We're expecting a big storm tomorrow. So hopefully that doesn't affect
it's going to be worse tomorrow.
I know.
I've got my late Christmas do with my work tomorrow, so I'm hoping I can get the train to London, so they won't call them off. But apart from that, football's been a bit in and out, which obviously we'll talk about in a bit. But all good. How are you?
Do you know what? I heard about this. I'm doing my diet as I've thought, new year, new me again, get back on my diet. But as soon as I heard this storm were coming, I thought, don't want to be blown away. So I decided to have a takeaway tonight. So I'm great.
What did you have?
Use it as an excuse. Just a chicken burger because my boys love pizza. I thought, you know what? Get a chicken burger. I work later on a Thursday, get that sorted. And I thought, at least then, a few extra pounds I won't blow away in this storm, will I? Joking.
You're a nutter.
I know. I've been called that before, don't worry. And how are you and how's your week been?
Rebecca's gone. I'm fine. Yeah, it's been all right. Don't know where she's gone, but the storm's got Rebecca already, hasn't it?
I know. She needed a takeaway.
I should probably had chicken burger and thought, right. I'm good actually. Yeah, I'm really well. Obviously, my dad's not been well, but he's out of hospital and everything, so that's good news. But apart from that, just busy with work, everything like that. Wearing me top that I got from the football awards. Yeah, biggest shot. So she's back there. But apart from that, everything's good. Yep.
Good. Rebecca, I'm going to come to you next because in case your internet, how are you and how's your week been? And I just want to know, how was the dedicated fixture? How did things go? We'll get onto it properly a little bit later, but things all good with that?
Yeah, it went really well. I apologise now for the Wi-Fi. Don't know what's going on with it, but we're just in like this moment of BT Wi-Fi and my computer do not get on. So that's great when you're trying to get uni results as well. But it's been a very good week. I've got 2 of my assignments back as well, so they're passed. So
yay!
That is half of my second year of uni done now. So start back up next week, and then it's all going really well. Thank you.
Love that. And last but not least, Claire, how are you and how's your week been?
I am good. I can't believe it's still January. Probably like
longest month
all
ever.
Of us. I know it always seems to last about 600 days. Like we're on the 612th of January now. But it's payday tomorrow, so
brother.
But just had a lot going on family wise, so it's nice for us to get back onto winning ways this weekend. I'm all right. And Rebecca, hit me up, darling, for meat treats. Get you sorted a new Wi-Fi.
I love it. And sorry to everyone for me going like that. I realised I had lip gloss on my teeth. How embarrassing. I just went, but I thought I shouldn't have done that really. Everyone could see me just going. But of course, everybody in the chat. Hello. We have Kylie's put good evening, legends. Bless him. I love that. How are we all doing tonight? We're really good, thank you. Chris is on the ball already. League 1, Wrexham 1, Birmingham 1. Sorry about that.
That's you.
Man United 0, Rangers 0. Man United scored, but VAR ruled it out for a foul. Bear with me a second. I have got the coughs. Oh my gosh. because I'm so excited to be talking National League first. We've got Claire's sister, Helen. Hope you're okay, Helen. Chris again has put good evening all. Lucas put, all right, everyone, we will be talking about 0-0s this stream. Oh, lovely. Get your match report up ready as well, Luke, because we are starting with it. Evening, everyone, and our super team. Hello, Sam. Hope you're okay. Hit that like and subscribe, people. It's free and like a virtual hug. It really is. And here's your virtual hug from me. We've got Graham as well. Hi, Graham. Hope you're okay. He's put evening, everyone. We've got Simon. He's put evening all. Oh, thanks for tuning in, guys. We have got Johnny. He's put hey all. Hope you all have a great show. Thank you. Thank you. Zach has put hello all. Hello. Hope you're okay. A score update. Wi-Fi 1, Rebecca 0. Oh, congratulations, Rebecca, as well. Smashing it as always. How cute, Graham. He's lovely, isn't he? But we have to start somewhere. And do you know what? I'm going to go for it today because we've not played in ages. And despite us losing 1-0 to Forest Green, I've got a lot to talk about. And it's not all negative, to be fair, because it was a really frustrating game, but not for the wrong reasons. I was more frustrated that we didn't come out with a point or more, because to say that we haven't played in a while, we didn't look rusty. We were really, really, really dominating the game against Forest Green. We just couldn't finish our chances. But yeah, we played very, very well. Devante Rodney. I mean, Devante Rodney, baby, as we call him. We have a song for him. He just couldn't score. It had so many chances, and on another day, you would have obviously put them away. But yeah, from a Ben Toles throw-in, you know what he can do. Pass it to then Liam Sercombe, straight to his feet, scored a goal. But I've just not really got anything to complain about. And I think a lot of Rochdale fans were the same. Like, we're not played in a while, and you couldn't tell. We look really fit. We've got a lot of players coming back from injury as well. So yeah, really, really positive, even though we did come away empty-handed. Found out today as well, Sam Waller, who we do have in net at the minute on loan from Burnley, he's extended for the rest of the season. So I'm really, really happy about that. And one player I am hoping as well, I know we were talking about him off air, we do have a wing back called Jilibiabu, and he's such a fantastic player. We all love him, fans, and obviously he's such a great guy off field as well. And he was injured for a couple of weeks, and it was over the Christmas period. And do you know what? Even though he was injured, it came to the away games, and he was in the stands with all the fans and everything, getting involved, singing along too. And his loan actually ends this January, but fingers crossed, I'm hoping Jim can do everything he can to keep him, obviously for the remainder of the season, because he's such a fantastic player, like on the pitch as well. Very quick pace, he likes to get involved attacking, but honestly off the pitch as well, he is just absolute quality. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, he can stay. We've not really had much happening in this transfer window at the minute. One thing I am I'm a bit nervous about is Cairo Mitchell's contract does run out this summer. He's only got a few months left on his contract, so I'm hoping an EFL club don't come in for him. But I am hoping we can kind of resolve that situation. I don't know if we've offered anything to him, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we can get him under contract, because you all know what I think about Cairo Mitchell and Devante Rodney as a pairing together. But yeah, nothing I can really fault Dale for at the minute. And I know not a lot of people aren't very fond of it, but we did play in a National League Cup against Stoke's under-21s on Tuesday. Nice 2-0 win as well. So yeah, nothing to complain about Dale. I'm quite happy. Got a home game, one of our many home games on Saturday as well. The pitch is looking good. We've sorted that at the minute, so fingers crossed we can get some football in and pick up a little bit more momentum, because obviously it has been a little bit stop-start for us in recent weeks, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we can start picking up the points. But yeah, I just thought I'd get us out the way first. And it's a special someone's birthday tomorrow, and Mr. Ian Henderson, who might be 40 as well. So I'm going to end the show by singing happy birthday to him. So just a bit of a spoiler. So I do it for everyone else. So I've got to do it for that legend.
Makes us feel young that a professional footballer still playing at 40. Like,
do you know what? As well, you couldn't even tell he was 40. It looks like one of the fit. Not like looks wise as well. So if anybody comes in at this time, I'm not pointing out his looks, but like obviously physically, you cannot tell he's 40. He looks so fit. He's still got the pace. Obviously, he's not as fast as he used to be, but he's still got the legs and everything as well. So I'm just hoping, even though it's been announced it's his testimonial season, his events going on, I just want him to stay. Even if he joins Jim's backroom team, please, Hendo. Please. Because it's really good at the minute, because obviously from growing up, we've obviously got Jim McNulty, who used to play for us as our manager. We've got Josh Lillis, who was our keeper. He's our goalkeeping coach now. So it'd just be amazing if Hendo could get involved as well with all these ex-players who was like kind of part of our promotions as well. So fingers crossed. I'm just happy we've got our pitch sorted though at the minute. Johnny has put, you can keep him. It won't go into Sheffield United's team. Oh, thanks, Johnny. I'll tell Jim McNulty on behalf of you, we're keeping Jilly Biarby. But yeah, that is it. I have got Luke's match report as well. Before we do look at the fixtures, he has put Yeovil away. I have to say, it's what you expect. In the first half, from a 0-0, a boring half, nothing really interesting, really went on. Second half, we played much better. Really glad we managed to get a point now. Bear with me as well, everyone. I think I'm getting the hiccups. It's doing me dirty today. Coughing fit and hiccups. And we're only like not even 15 minutes into it.
What chicken burger can do for you.
I know. He's also put as well, we have Oldham at home on Saturday. It's quite a big game. Both sides aren't on a great run of form, so we're expecting an awful game, but I would love a win. Please. And then he's also put, oh, I love this. Bringing my 5-year-old cousin and his godfather to their first Heat game. Hopefully they will be a lucky charm for Saturday. I hope so too. And if they beat Oldham, bring them to every game apart from when you play us at our place. Not coming up.
You're so funny.
I can't help it. He's put 67 Gateshead fans in Yeovil on a Friday night. Absolutely incredible support there. Fair play to them. I know we spoke about that last week, didn't we? Like,
that is a long old way. That
game on a Friday night, just for, I call it Dazzin. I know all you posh people call it DAZN, but it'll always be Dazzin to me.
Same, mate, same.
Thank you.
No, DAZN to me, unfortunately. I've been brought up on that.
You posh ones.
Oh, that's what our cameraman calls it, you see, and he's the one that does the filming for them, so you have to probably say DAZN.
Still calling it Dazzin. Sam has put Dale back. More minutes for the goal. Henderson, please. I know. We love Ian Henderson.
It is.
Really big credit to them, Luke, especially on a Friday night. I completely agree. We mentioned it, like I said, last week, and it's just stupid, isn't it?
It's a hell of a long way. That like it's like what, 7 hours? You would say?
Yeah.
On Friday
easily.
More than that from
from like Newcastle in it really. So yeah, we got 7 hours. Yeah, mad.
National League results. So, do you know what, Ben? I'm going to come to you. Is there any standouts on here just while I have a drink because my throat's doing me dirty?
I mean, to be fair, like I say, there's a good few because obviously Aldershot, winning at Oldham is probably not one that expects. I mean, Oldham have had a bit of a tough week, to be fair. They were probably in strong contention for the title probably this time last week, and 2 defeats now it suddenly knocks them off a little bit. But then, York City again fell to defeat against Sutton. Don't think anyone probably would have saw that one coming. I did quite like the the tweet though that Sutton's admin was putting out though after the win, because I think the York chairman got a bit chippy. He did at one of their players or something, didn't they? And he sort of bit him back to it. So obviously the Sutton admin team were having a way all the time. They were that one. And then as well, I think a big win down at the bottom for Maidenhead against Fylde, because they really needed to win that. Maidenhead are very much struggling in that bottom four, and I know Fylde have still got a couple of games in hand over them as well. So it was important that Maidenhead didn't let them have that little bit more of an advantage, still being ahead of them. So that's a massive win for them. I mean, they've just got to rely now on other results going their way, otherwise they'll get pushed right back into it. But yeah, no, there's probably a few days of real results maybe that no one probably expected, which sometimes at this stage of the season it does happen. Like a couple of the top of the teams that get probably their bad period out of the way, I think in January, February time, and then you sort of see from March onwards they sort of kick on. I think maybe that was just one of those weekends really for the likes of York and Oldham.
Definitely. And speaking about York and Oldham as well, on Tuesday they did play each other, and York came out winners of that. I think it was 2-0.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, there was a lot. I saw a lot of things on Twitter as well, especially considering Josh Stones. And one thing, right, the Oldham fans were giving an abuse. So bearing in mind, Josh Stones was on loan at Oldham. He was originally a Wigan Athletic player, and then they've called him back. York have come in with obviously quite a substantial amount of money, even though I think Oldham were bidding for him as well. But York obviously outdid them with quite a large, substantial amount of money, came in for him. So York obviously have signed him. And then all the Oldham fans were like giving him grief and stuff. So yeah, I think it was a little bit tasty that game. But one person who I did want to speak about, obviously, for Aldershot, and he's scoring a lot of goals, Josh Barrett. I mean, he's on fire. Yeah.
That's a thing where they are in the league, because they've been pulled right into sort of the relegation battle after they did fairly well last season, sort of in the top half. But they that's the thing. To go away from home against Oldham is probably one of the toughest venues to go to in this division. No matter what position they're in, because they've got a fan base that do get right behind the team. So I think even on Tuesday, I think there was 8,000 there was, for the game against York, which is incredible for 50th football. Like, I know it's a top table clash. They've got big support bases, but for a Tuesday night, 8,000, you just think what it would have been if it was on a Saturday. Could have maybe brought 10,000. But yeah, for Aldershot, that's massive. And it's important. I mean, that's the thing in the next sort of week or so, that they keep hold of the likes of Josh Barrett, because who knows, some of the top class might think, do you know what, we mind a few more goals in our team. And like you see, if you see the likes of York putting the money out, Aldershot might have an offer that they can't. It might be too hard for them to turn down if someone like them went in for him. But if they can keep hold of him past the January transfer window, they might just have a chance of.
Am I right thinking that he's the top scorer for him as well, though? Because even though they're right down there, they've scored quite a lot of goals, haven't they?
Yeah, no, I think they've always had that, but they've got some good strikers down there. That's the thing. I'm surprised they're down there. Even Jack Barham, we used to have a mate, so it was a natural goal scorer. It was, and having the likes of him and Josh Barrett, that's the thing. There's plenty of goals in that team, but the problem is they've conceded far too many goals, and that's the thing. Defenders, I was going to say win your leagues, but in this case, I think when you're at the bottom, you need to score more goals than the other team. That's the thing. Scoring goals is a massive thing rather than conceding. If you win the game 5-4 every single week, as long as you're staying up, that's the main thing. But, the big problem for the teams at the bottom is they can't score goals, and Aldershot are doing it. They just need to keep it tighter down at the other end.
Yeah, definitely. I noticed that about Aldershot as well. They do score a lot of goals, don't they? I think obviously it's just a defence. I don't know if it's the style they play in and the way they play in and set the team out, but they do leak a lot. But yeah, hopefully they are on the up and they can keep hold of their players. This comment did make me laugh. It makes our pitch look amazing. Halifax postponed against Dagenham and Redbridge is a standout one because it shows how bad Halifax pitch is. I mean, I can't really judge that one. I'd be a little bit of a hypocrite if I did.
It is bad though.
Yeah, they have struggled. They've struggled for years though, haven't they, to be fair? At the Shea. It is the Shea still, isn't it?
Yeah, it is the Shea, yeah. I think it's because it's a cancel pitch. That's the thing, because I think it's run by the cancel. The rugby team plays there as well. It affects it so badly. But it's like I say, it's always been a problem down there. When I've walked in it before, when I was doing media there a couple of years ago, it's very squidgy. It is, but I don't know what they do to make it so bad. But That's the thing. That's got to be the worst pitch. That's the you say about your pitch. I think Halifax still beat you to probably the worst pitch in the division because it's been a thing for years. Like you say down there, it's awful.
As well, this made me laugh. There's a lot of people wanting File to come down, so I think Claire's one of them as well. Chris has put, "Come on back down, File and Boston, wahaha." And then Lucas put, "I'd do anything to get File down with our record against them." One team as well who was struggling at the minute. I mean, Southend.
Yeah.
Barnet beating them 3-0. I know obviously Barnet are doing very, very well at the minute, but yeah, Southend, bless them. Let's have a quick look. Oh, they're not as far down as I thought, but it's pretty tight, isn't it, to be fair? They're very tight.
Especially with the teams that have the games in hand around them as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Or well, actually, Wilston mainly, if they pick up a win and suddenly they get dragged into it a little bit more, don't they? But yeah, it's still a long way to go. You think there's 20 odd games to go. It's still a long football to be played.
Speaking of Wilston as well, just a little bit of news. So they were in a little bit of a pick-me-up because Alex Reid, obviously, I don't know if he's properly signed or if he's extended his loan for them. So that's a bit of positive news. But they have lost their manager, Matt Taylor. He's gone to Solihull Moors today. So a little bit of a pick-me-up.
Question about Alex Reid?
Yeah.
It's really weird. Why did they recall him? Oldham recalled him and he played 2 games and then he's gone back there on loan.
Is it because they lost Josh Stones? And now they've got people obviously in. I know obviously Josh Stones went and stuff, and I think they've lost a couple of players. And then I think they've just recently signed I think they've signed someone from Wrexham. I think I mentioned it last week. They've signed quite a few players in a short space of time this week. And they've let a Chegbellum, who we had obviously for us last season, they've let him go on loan to Eastleigh today. So I don't know if it was just a case of they were short on players. I know Norwood's been injured as well. So maybe they needed him to come back just for numbers and stuff. And then because they've signed some players, he's come back. I'm not 100% sure. That's the guy who they've got from Wrexham.
Oh, bloody hell, he's good at him.
Am I right in saying as well, have they got Tom Pett, Oldham? Has Tom Pett just gone there? Let me, sorry, just bear with me a minute. Speak amongst yourself, everyone, because I might have actually dreamt it.
Just while you are looking at that, I was looking at another result that was
of course.
A good one was Braintree beating Solihull. Because obviously Braintree are right in the mix at the bottom.
Yeah.
Solihull 7th, always around there, aren't they? But I thought that was a really good result for Braintree. And it looked like they were like under the cosh for quite a lot of that match. So fair play to them.
100%. It was Tom Pett, by the way. Sorry, Ben.
I was just going to say obviously about the whole Matt Taylor going to Solihull. I am surprised by that, to be honest. You think of all the money that Solihull have got, they've gone for a manager that's managing a team that's in the bottom 4. And to be fair, I've seen a lot of Wilston fans are really happy about it. I think with where they are in the league and that, and look, they are one of the smallest clubs in that league. Wilston, they are a big name in non-league, but in terms of their resources and that, very limited in comparison to the likes of Solihull. So I am surprised they've got something like that, and maybe not someone with a bit of football league experience, because that's eventually where they want to get to. I mean, look, they were a couple of penalty kicks away from doing it last season. So I can't see him, to be honest, maintaining any sort of form to keeping the players, because particularly when I see that Rochdale have got 4 games in hand over them, and you think one win really takes you above them. And that's the thing I was going to mention. I think I wouldn't be too disheartened that Saturday, because you think you only got to get a couple of wins or take advantage of a couple of games in hand. And then suddenly you're cementing your place back in the playoffs again. You're in a very good position, with particularly the teams that dropping points at the moment. It's crazy.
Definitely. I did go on a Twitter space as well. There's a National League Twitter space every Sunday. And the guys who were obviously hosting that actually said to me, they don't really know what to expect with Dale at the minute, because they'd rather have points on the board than games in hand, which I do get. But I feel like now we're in a good position because we're getting a lot of players back from injuries as well. And like I mentioned, if the pitch is in a good condition now, and you kind of have that, I know people don't really like it, and it can have a negative impact because you are more prone to injuries when you're playing Tuesday, Saturday. But I think from a momentum point of view as well, it could really work in our favour, hopefully. So fingers crossed. And people were like, oh, you fell out of the playoffs now, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, but it's like 4 games in hand. Come on. We're more than capable. And I feel like if we do end up not picking up the points from them games in hand, then it's our own fault at the end of the day, because we've got a more than capable side now. And especially considering, like I mentioned, we are getting a hell of a lot of players back. So, yeah, fingers crossed anyway.
Home form is massively key in that league. That's the thing, like, because, you know, the atmospheres that people can create, especially for the smaller team, it can be an intimidating place to go. And I think, like, you know, with the Tuesday night games you've got coming up, like, I think that's going to work in your favour, especially maybe for some of the teams that come down from south. Thanks. Yeah, I think especially ones that have to come from south on a Tuesday night, and, you know, like a long trip to Rochdale on a Tuesday night. Not many teams will fancy it, I don't think. So it is making sure that you've got to take advantage of those games, because that's what's going to be the key to staying in the playoffs. And like I've said before, when you're winning games, you just want to keep playing. That's the thing.
Exactly.
Just like maintaining that form and momentum. And I think maybe with those amount of games in a short space of time, it could work well, but you just got to hope you've got players that stay injury-free. Otherwise, it could easily go wrong. So that's the thing you got to hope on, isn't it?
100%. And like I mentioned before, sorry for going on about Dale, like, I do apologise. But there's a couple of
ratings you're entitled to, don't worry.
And also,
I always feel bad.
It's actually nice for us to be spending a bit of time talking about this level as well, rather than leaving it till, you know, rushed at the end. So
yeah,
I feel like it's a Dale show, though. This will be my last point now.
No, not at all.
I know a lot of people obviously don't really like the National League Cup, and don't get me wrong, it's one of them where it's like, oh, National League Cup, but there's a few young lads that we actually do have on loan. Charlie Weston's one from Barrow, and we've got one called Leon Ayinde, and he's from Ipswich, and he's just come back from injury. But them National League Cup games are really helping them like flourish and kind of build confidence and momentum. And I feel like with us at the minute, we are now in a position where we can kind of introduce these players slowly into it, and we've got the squad depth that we haven't had last season as well. I'm not saying we will be comfortable in the playoffs and things, because there's a lot of really good teams in the National League, and we're all taking points off each other. Like, you can't call it, can you, at the minute? It's always been like that, the National League. But I feel like if we can carry on and touch wood, we do go injury free and stuff, we could really kick on this. I think, yeah. The only problem is, at the minute, I feel like we've not kind of recruited much in this window. I know obviously it's open till March, but I feel like we do maybe need another midfielder, because obviously Aaron Henry, I think he broke a bone in his foot. We had him on loan from Charlton, and he was a really, really good defensive midfielder, but also he did contribute to goals as well. So I think we just need that in case obviously the likes of Ryan East or Harvey Gilmore pick up an injury, or maybe to give them a rest with us having so many games back to back. But yeah, that is the Rochdale chart done anyway. Sam has put, Eastleigh, you're doing it, and you will avoid playoffs at all costs. Run. I know, and you've got a check balloon.
See you later, Eastleigh.
I know. Do you know what though, right? A check balloon, just on him a minute. When we signed him, because I feel like every club he goes to, bless him, in the first so many games, he has so much potential. And everyone's like, yes, we've got a fantastic player. And Chesterfield did it to us. And they were like, it was really good. But then obviously he's just not got that end product. Like, he's got massive potential. And we were like, oh no, we'll be fine at Dale. And then obviously he signs from Dale, to Oldham. We all said the same. And now Oldham fans are saying the exact same to obviously Eastleigh fans. So I'm just hoping, fingers crossed, he can cut it there, because like I've said, and everyone else has said, he's got massive, massive potential. But he's just such a frustrating player. It really, really is. Lucas put, personally, I'm not a massive fan of this National League Cup. I'm boycotting going to any of their games. Only right thing to do. I'll be perfectly honest, I did say it off air. I think everyone is entitled to do what they want to do, and I don't agree with it. But it got to a point where last I've had like quite a bit of stuff on, like family stuff and things like that. And it got to a point where I was really missing going to the football. And I thought I've not seen live football in forever because I couldn't get to the Forest Green game with work. And then I thought, do you know what? I'm going to just go to this game because as much as people are saying, yeah, they're boycotting it, it is frustrating. It's a chance for me to obviously bring my two boys. And it was really good. And I said to obviously the team, haven't I, like off air, they got the chance to like meet the players and stuff as well. And they felt part of it. So as much as it is really, really, really frustrating, I just really needed to see some live football to kind of help my my head. So that's why I did go.
That's the thing as well. Sometimes going to football is about more than just going a match.
Going to football,
I might not agree with a National League Cup. And to be fair, I don't think anybody really agrees with it. But like Shah says, like it's a bit of fresh air. You go in and watch something that you love, you're passionate about, you get to see people that you quite like. Probably, you know, there's some people that you don't like. Fair enough, you just avoid yeah. But it's just nice to get out there and watch your team. And especially when you've had like as many postponements as you have.
Honestly, like I said, it's just one of them things where I don't agree with what's happened. But then I think as well, at the end of the day, my club are being part of it. They're opening the stand, obviously, they're opening the stadium and stuff for this. It's a chance of watching live football. Plus, I can put money into the club as well by obviously getting a drink, a pie, whatever you're getting kind of thing. So yeah.
You heard about the national bovril shortage?
No, I've not heard about that.
No. I don't drink it anyway, so I'm all right.
I saw a Winton fan, they tweeted that there's a national bovril shortage. So imagine if there actually is, there's so many of us Northerners that are going to be really disappointed on a match day when we can't get our, you know, drink of choice.
I'll just bring my own. I'll bring a flask of this. Don't you worry if it's as long as it's gravy. As long as it's gravy, it doesn't matter. But yeah, see, National League table. So top of the table, we have Forest Green Rovers with 55 points. I had to get my bearings then. I nearly read the goal difference again. York City are second on 54 points. Barnet are third on 54 points. Gateshead are fourth on 48 points. Oldham Athletic are fifth on 44 points. Altrincham are sixth on 41 points. And Solihull Moors are seventh on 41 points. And then in the relegation zone, we have Wilston, who are 21st on 25 points. AFC Fylde are 22nd on 22 points. Boston United are 23rd on 16 points. And Ebbsfleet United, still bitter about them, Ben. They are bottom of the league on 12 points. I'll never get over that.
You know what?
Never beat them.
They're three games unbeaten now, they are. They're on a roll.
Smashing it.
You know what stands out for me on that table, though? And I'm not just saying it because, obviously, you know, the boss is a resident Rochdale fan. But how many games you've got in hand over the teams around you?
Yeah.
Could be right.
One of them's against Oldham as well. One of them's against Oldham.
The thing is, though, as well, if you like win all, I know it's like it might not happen, but you win all four, you're right slap banging amongst the top three, and so fingers crossed.
It's one of them as well. Like this month, we have got some winnable games, and I'm not gonna say
Ebbsfleet again, have you?
Yeah, no, we don't win against Ebbsfleet. That's not winnable. But on paper, we have got some quite like decent fixtures. So on Saturday we've got Yeovil, then we've got Boston on Tuesday. I can't remember who we've got then. After that, I think we might be away. We've got Oldham as well. Anything can happen on a derby day. I'm not saying that's winnable because that's going to be really tough. But as we all know, against obviously in a local derby, you don't know, do you? Anything can happen.
Goes out the window on a local derby.
Exactly. I just wanted to talk about this as well, what Martina said. Does it create any extra revenue for the clubs invited to the competition? No, basically, all proceeds go to the National League clubs. If the Premier League club wins a game, it goes into a pot, I think. And then at the end of the competition, it gets split between all the National League. Is it all the National League clubs? So yeah, it's us that gain from it, but we're not necessarily gaining that much from it because an FA Cup replay would obviously source more income from having that replay at a Premier League club. So yeah, it's one of them, and see what happens. It's not ideal, but who knows? We might win summer. You never know.
It's basically like the Audi Cup, though, isn't it, for Tottenham? That's what I'm
looking
at.
Yeah.
Hi, Martin, by the way.
I know. Walking away on the 1st of Feb. Thank you. Thank you. Lucas put still in 4th, and he's put as well. I don't think we'll win the league, of course, but I would say our target is just to stay in the playoffs and try to compete for 3rd place. Nice. Right, we will go to, I don't know which one's next. Is it North or is it South? I do not know. It is the North. Ben, can I trust you for a minute to talk National League North while I go and grab a drink? Because my throat is really hurting.
Because I know there's going to be one supporter in our chat that's going to be loving life right now, spending more. Flipping hell, 7-0. Where's that come from? I mean, like, you know, see, Chris, we have to tell us better than anyone, but the fact that, you know, mid-table at the moment, spending more, I think, you know, it's like win a game, lose a game, like, you know, they're not going to go down, but they're going to get, like, playoffs might be a push, but, you know, what a win. I know Rushall, and to be fair, that's not a bad win as well, because Rushall have really been informed, like, you know, the last, you know, probably month or so. You know, they've picked up some really key results that have now put them right back in contention of getting above the bottom 4, but that's a bit of a comeback down to earth and then from that one, to be honest. But again, as well, I look at, you know, Peterborough Sports actually beating Buxton as well. Buxton, I think, you know, since the turn of the year, they've not had the best of starts. I mean, you know, because at one point, I mean, they were comfortably 4th or 5th in the league, and now they've slipped out the playoffs to 10th. So it shows how tight that division is at the moment. And yeah, again, it is like so. It is a really competitive division, like, to be involved in. I think you're looking at it. I think I'm looking at the table now. I think the top 4, you know, are separated by just 1 point, which is like is, you know, crazy at the moment. And they've all played a similar amount of games. If Kidderminster Harris don't win that game in hand, then it really does become a right, you know, right dogfight for that top spot at the moment. So yeah, obviously some teams are going to step away from it at some point, but to be honest, the top 3 is sort of the teams you'd expect to be up there, particularly the likes of Kidderminster and Scunthorpe. But Chester, to be fair, they've been in right good form recently and now pushed right their way up now to, you know, to title contenders potentially. So
yeah. Curs and Ashton were at the top for quite a while, so it just shows massively how close it is that they're now in 6th, because it was, as I'm sure, a couple of weeks ago, we were saying, you know, kudos to them because of how much they're smashing it. But do you know what? As a neutral, like, isn't it good to see like that kind of, you know, closeness in a league? It's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what you want. Particularly like that, in a division like that, obviously even in the National League as well. In fact, there's only one automatic promotion spot. Like, everyone will do anything they can to fight for that. Particularly for how many big clubs are in the National North as well. Like, some of them are quite easy. They've got the facilities and that to play maybe even League 2 football, let alone the National North. I mean, Claire, you'll know that from Stockport's time in the National North.
No, I know.
So it was
the most difficult league that I've known, like, to get out of. I think obviously it's always been quite competitive, but I think there's a lot of well-established teams that have been at that level for a long time that know what you've got to do. And I think it's the type of football that you play. It's so much more physical, and you need to have some hard men really to really succeed at that level. Yeah, me and Sam actually met at Leamington away, just in case you didn't know.
Oh, that's where Toby hugged a tree as well.
Yeah,
place for love.
It wasn't by that tree, was it, Claire?
Imagine.
You haven't got your name carved on the tree or anything like that. It's fantastic. That little love heart.
And he just went and hugged it.
We sent him a message so we know.
Oh, love it. Obviously we do have Chris in the chat. Yeah, I forgot to say this as well. So before we go on to it and the match report, he did go from Solihull to Barrow, and then Matt Taylor has gone. Obviously from Wealdstone to Solihull. I tell you what, my throat is doing me dirty today. Can't stop coughing. He's put, blew my mind that second half. And then he's put, am I on the right one? Yes. Rochelle at home. What a game of two halves this was. We took the lead thanks to Glenn Taylor, but Rochelle hit the post twice. In the second half, Spennymoor scored 6 goals. 2 more goals from Glenn Taylor. 3 goals from Corin McKeown and Rob Ramshaw with a corker of a goal.
Who got the match ball? That's what I want to know.
I know.
Enough.
I know.
It's rare that, to be honest. Like, you know, I mean, I remember seeing in the Premier League, was it a couple of years ago when Haaland and Foden both got a hat trick against United, but like, I don't actually know. I mean, I'm assuming it's the first player that gets to the hat trick first. I thought that would get the match ball, but if to be honest, if I were him, I'd be taking both of them. Both of them would want the match ball in the end. Oh yeah, okay, that's fair enough then. I mean, to be honest, though, you're going to be running out of balls though at that time. They're not cheap those balls. Let me tell you.
Should do rock paper scissors.
I know. Last week in the Women's FA Cup, Sunderland women won 7-0 down in Exeter, and 2 of them scored hat tricks, but 1 got 4. But the last who got 4, and Adil gave the match ball to the other girl who got the hat trick, because it was the other girl's first hat trick, like professional hat trick. So he actually gave her the match ball, which was quite nice.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nice to be nice, isn't it?
It is. It is. Yeah.
It is. Any other standouts for anyone on this slide? I mean, let me have a look. Apart from Spennymoor, I mean, Scarborough against Farsley. Oh, Farsley.
Farsley, a madness in it. They're playing like the home games 2 hours away from like home.
I think they've accepted they're going to go down. I think, to be honest, I think their supporters will. If you can't, if you know, the fans are boycotting it. No one's going to turn up. You know, they're conceding goals for fun at the moment. They're heading back to you know down the pyramid a little bit. And that's the thing. Until that owner goes, it's only going to get worse. I think this season for them. But I think that's like we said before. Was it last week? I mean, their supporters have just got to stick with it and keep boycotting, because at the end of the day, something will change. Something will happen. We just hope that owner goes and finds makes the right decision here, because no club deserves it. But when you're playing what we call elite football, as we were told a few years ago by the National League, this shouldn't be happening. And I do feel so sorry for Farsley, to make a 4-hour round trip, for home games. That should not be happening. Not this level of football. No. So let's hope they get that sorted.
Am I right in saying they've just appointed Neil Redfern as manager as well, Farsley?
I'm
pretty sure they have. Let's bear with me. Surely I've not dreamt all of these. I got Tom Pett right.
Former Leeds manager Neil Redfern.
Yes, Farsley appoint Neil Redfern as new manager. Yes. Oh, I'm full of knowledge today.
Yeah, you're doing really well, aren't you?
It's a change. It's because I'm talking about it like now. I've not waited the whole show and thought, yeah, I can't be bothered now. Yeah, even Chris is saying I'm correct. I must be right if Chris is saying so.
You got Chris approval.
Exactly. That's all I needed. I can end the show now. Any other standouts on here?
I mean, the only other one I would guess in the sort of playoff sort of clash with Brackley Town beating Curzon Ashton. Obviously, we mentioned about Curzon Ashton. They were not like I said, they were quite far clear at the top at one point, and now suddenly they've slipped right down. I mean, it's still fairly tight, but Brackley now starting to take the shackles off a little bit and go back to where they should be, which is competing for that title, because they've been there like flirting with it for so many years now. But let's be honest, I think if I was a supporter of them, I'd be wanting to win the league so badly more than anything, because let's be honest, their playoff record does not bode well for them. So But that's the thing. Even when they're game in hand, it's only 3 points between them and Kidderminster Harriers. Like if they win their game in hand, so they're probably in the best position at the moment. Obviously bar Kidderminster, Brackley. So who knows? They might just second half of the season might just be the turning point for them.
Chris has mentioned this as well. I mean, he's talking about Leamington again. Where everyone feels the love. In the informed Darlington, very good result for the home team. I agree with that one. Do you agree with that one? And then we had a few games on Tuesday. So Chester won, Scunthorpe United 0, Chorley 0, Oxford City 0, Kidderminster 0, Darlington 1. I mean, that's a massive standout there, isn't it? That one. And Scunthorpe 3, Brackley Town 2. I've just messed it up. That's Spennymoor I meant to put there. I've just noticed it for you all. Call me out. I noticed it. I was testing you all. I was testing myself. So, yeah, this is how I know. Chester away. Different game and very cagey affair against one of the informed teams in the league. Returning Dan Moody, scoring the only goal of the game on the 80th minute, but proud of the lads. And then next game is Brackley away on Saturday.
That's a tough one, that one.
That's a good game, isn't it?
Very.
Yeah. I mean, it must be so like Chester there winning 1-0. And was it against Spenny? Sorry, like Spenny. It must be so frustrating for Chris, beating team 7-0 and then not scoring away from home. I know it's more of a difficult game, but that's so frustrating that he not being able to back up a 7-0 win and then getting beat. But it is what it is, isn't it? Yeah,
I think that's what you got to give Chester some credit as well, actually.
Yeah, definitely.
Regardless of who they're playing, they'd be thinking, look, they're going to be right high in that. We need to be at it because that's the thing. You just have two players that score, both score hat tricks. Like you're going to have to be on your A game a little bit. So that might have. I mean, because that's the thing. Had it been maybe 1 or 2-0, Chester might have, think, it's just sort of another game a little bit. But when a team wins by a score line like that, they tend to up their game a little bit more. And I think that's what Chester have done. So, that's a big result for them, actually. And, when you look into the context of things.
100%. And I decide who people play on this podcast, don't I? I wanted Scunthorpe to play twice this week on Tuesday. I wanted them to, so they have. Tough games for them. I mean, they lost one, but they got a win as well on the same day. Honestly. Oh. Chester have been a side that have struggled to get back in the National League. I remember as well when they used to be in, obviously, the Football League with us. It's surprising when you look at, National League North and the amount of teams that we used to play, many years ago. And, it's sad to see, isn't it? The downfall of some of them. Chester were probably mid-table in November, maybe, but now they are second. And Lucas put, but we have an amazing record against them. They cannot beat us.
Yeah, same as us. They never beat us either, Luke. So you're all right with
that. I'm scared to look at the table now in case I've messed it up. But who cares? Who cares? I do what I want on this podcast. So, top of National League North, we have Kidderminster on 49 points. Chester are second, also on 49 points. Scunthorpe United are third on 48 points. Kings Lynn Town are fourth on 48 points. Brackley Town are fifth on 46 points. Curzon Ashton are sixth on 45 points. And Darlington are seventh on 42 points. And then in the relegation zone, I feel like this relegation zone never switches. Never switches every time I read it. So 21st, we have Radcliffe on 22 points. Marine are 22nd on 21 points. Rochelle Olympic are 23rd on 21 points. And Needham Market and Needham, what's going on? They are bottom on 19 points.
Games in hand, though, games in hand.
True. They're like us, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do you know what it is, though? Every time someone from this podcast, adopts a little non-league team.
They tend to be shite.
Oxford were the same with Uncle Nick, weren't they? They got relegated,
bless. Yeah. To, adopt, Buxton or Hereford or someone that's doing all right.
Oh, funny. Oh, come on, Luke. It's time of the night again. Chris's foot as well. The Russia manager got into trouble after the Spennymoor game for saying something bad. Oh, what did he say?
Not
Tell
like
us.
we were shite.
Never get told off.
At school, you have to tell us.
No. Oh, come on, Chris. I'm intrigued now. Quick before we move on. Oh. I'll see whether I can read it now.
At least our mate Jordan Humes got some games in hand, haven't they, with the old Ratcliffe?
I know.
To be fair, I was looking at the National League North before, and I sent him a WhatsApp saying, "What's happening here? You're going down."
He's going to come and give us some hate now, isn't he?
I know. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I won't read that. Right. National League South. Do you want to talk, Maidstone, Ben?
Do you know what, Ben?
You've got 2 games, haven't you?
Ben, do you know what? Right? We've had 16-game unbeaten run, right? And we've been talking about National League like next to last or last. We just talk about it first tonight. These are fucking
I know, I'm sorry.
That's why.
Why?
Yeah, the Stoke. Yeah, well, I know. I'd say, look, didn't I say last week that the unbeaten run may well come to an end on Saturday? Wasn't that right?
I said it weren't going to happen, so I feel like it's my fault. I was bigging you up.
You completely.
It's always my fault.
Look, you know, we weren't good enough on the day, really. I think we turned up, you know, the pitch wasn't the greatest. It's not an excuse, obviously, because both teams had to play in there with a big slope.
Excuse.
Well, I think because I had a walk in it wasn't actually that bad, to be honest. I thought, to be fair, after the war, I thought this is going to cut up after 10 minutes, but the pitch actually held up quite well. But yeah, I don't know, we just seemed well off it, and it really, you know, just confuses me. I think we're in such good form at the moment, and even hearing Sam Corn's, you know, team talk with the players in the huddle before around, it's like, so look, keep a clean sheet and we'll win this game. And like, it just the players looked a little bit scared at times, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like, you know, at one point, we're 2-0 down, and our 2 defenders are just passing the ball along the back, and I think we're not going to score doing that. So, yeah, it was a tad frustrating. To be fair to Chesham, they fully deserved the result. They worked harder than us. They didn't really create that much, to be honest, in the final third. But you know, they scored a cracking first goal. I think it was Ashley Lodge. I think it was. You know, first time effort from the edge of the box. You know, beat Andre Jr. into the bottom right corner. It was a good goal. Second goal, awful defending, like sort of, you know, cross in. Their chap gets, you know, about 2 or 3 yards on our defenders from about 6 yards out, and you know, it came off the post and in. And as soon as it scored the second goal, you knew full well that even with still 40 minutes left, we weren't going to get back into it. It just had that feeling to it. You know, we created a couple of chances. We hit the bar. We nearly scored from from about 30 yards out, you know, just for the halftime whistle. But other than that, we didn't really create too much. And to be honest, it just shows that we're crying out for some extra players at the moment. Obviously, I'll come on to that with the Weymouth game because you know, a few things were said after that. But yeah, it's just disappointing because I'm disappointed because I wanted to get to 20 games unbeaten. I thought if we got to 20 games, that would have been remarkable. But don't get me wrong, like 18 games, you know, the fact it's taken 19th now to us to come unstuck, it was always going to happen. To be fair, it's probably the kick up the arse we needed, really, because you know, it's easy to get complacent. I'm not saying the players were complacent at all, because you know, they have done so well. They have to, you know, take every game that comes. They've been winning games, keeping clean sheets as well. But on the day, it just didn't happen for us, and it happens sometimes. Like Chesham, to be honest, Chesham are not a bad side. I mean, they're a good mid-table side. They've got a deserved point at our place. You know, they got deserved 3 points on Saturday. They'll be really pleased with that, and you know, fair play to them, because like at the end of the day, they'll be seeing that. I think that's their first win against one of the top 6-7 sides this season. Yeah. So you know, what better way for them to do it against, you know, an informed Maidstone side. So yeah, disappointed, but you know, but thankfully we bounced back on Tuesday. We did the win, which obviously we'll come on to in a bit.
Got a fairy. He won Manager of the Month, didn't he?
He did win Manager of the Month.
Always happens.
You know what? I said an hour before kickoff. I said to my photographer, I was like, just remember something. You got Manager of the Month. Curse of the Manager of the Month coming. Oh God, I knew it happened, but yeah, look, you know, can't knock it. We're gonna do something. It happens, doesn't it? It happens so many times now, like to managers in the leagues all over the place. So yeah, I'm not too disheartened about it. We were disappointed, but you know, way it goes sometimes.
Just clicked as well. Literally, as you were talking, I was like, last week we mentioned he got manager of the month. Happens to everyone. As soon as they get
really
it, they're
does.
cursed.
It really
Or
does.
player of the month, they'll end up getting injured or not scoring. I swear that's why it happened.
It's a jinx. It is a
jinx, that bloody thing. Our very own Grimmy as well has put evening, folks.
I'll eat.
So we will
Where's
talk
Jordan?
about no.
Isn't it?
No. He's Scouse?
No, he's not.
I had you, Bo.
You did.
Ben, any other standouts for you on here? I'm hoping I've got them all right this time. I'm not testing you all.
Yeah, I think so.
Who cares?
Apart from the Snow Eastbourne one, but you know, we allow that because it's the correct scoreline.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, wasn't too many big standouts, I guess. I mean, to be fair, probably the one was probably Western-super-Mez win at Dorking, and obviously with all the build up with Dawkins, 1,000th game for Mark White. That didn't quite go to plan for him, to be honest. I watched the goals, and you know, Western looked very effective. They almost looked like they went back to what they were good at the start of the season, which was good counter-attacking football. And that's got them a deserved 3 points against the Dawkins side. That, you know, one of the best scoring sides in, you know, not just our division, but across the top 6 tiers of English football. So they would have seen that as a massive boost, and particularly the form they've been in Western. They've really slipped out of the, you know, sort of the promotion race recently, where they were, I think, 3-4 points clear at the top, and now suddenly they're, you know, just sitting outside the playoffs now. So it's funny how it sort of all quickly turns, really. But it's not really too much, to be honest. I mean, I think Hemmel's win against Farnborough actually was probably a good one for them, because, you know, Hemel obviously, look, they went for that really They went for that really bad patch they did, but I think they lost like 10 in a row or something like that. And you know, the new manager Lee Allison's come in from Hendon, and he sort of, you know, rebuilt things a little bit. You know, they're not getting into spectacular form, but they are starting to tick off a couple of wins, which is what they need to move away from that bottom 4, because they were starting to get dragged into it a little bit. Albeit, you know, they've got a bit of cushion between them. They've still got to make sure, though, they're probably about 4 or 5 wins away from staying in the division, to be honest. So, you know, when you look at the tables, obviously we'll come on to a bit, it's getting a bit concerning now for the bottom 4, because the gap is starting to open up a little bit now. So, yeah, and that's the thing, is where the teams in and around each other in the bottom 4 are going to have to start taking points off each other, and they're going to be massive games now. But then again, they need to take, you know, points against the sides like Bath and Welling as well, who, you know, really slipped down there, because otherwise that gap just get bigger and bigger, and they'll be relegated before we can get to April at this rate. So yeah, that's probably Dorking, and probably, you know, obviously Cheshire's result that probably was a standout result of the weekend, because, you know, any side that beats a team 18 games unbeaten, I think they deserve the result of the week. So yeah, that's probably the ones for me.
Ben, do you think Dorking should have brought the mascot on?
That was so funny.
What they needed, was a big, you know, old centre forward that's played in the Championship. You know, someone, I don't know, like John Parkin, maybe. He might have been quite good.
The fact he was holding the captain's hand, that
was quality.
Charlie Carter looked like he was really enjoying that, actually. Look, you know, that's exactly, though, to be fair, what Dorking are about as a club. They're happy to, like, you know, get the stick for it, and then again, it gets them the media coverage. Obviously, under the cost, you know, that we've seen the good work they've all done, and that with their podcast. Obviously, they were at the, you know, awards with us, weren't they? So, no, massive fair play to John Parkin putting on a stuff like that. I'm surprised they managed to find a shirt big enough for him, though. I was quite pleased about that for him. Looked quite a tight fit for our Parkin.
We don't fat shame on this podcast, Ben. Come on.
We're not skinny rape climbing every weekend, Ben.
I'm just hoping we don't invite him on this podcast, because I don't think my arsehole will get torn a new one, I would have thought. He'll finish me off, you will, that man.
Obviously, we did have a few games midweek. Before we get on to your game, Ben, any other standouts for you? I mean, Boreham Wood are obviously they're doing well at the minute, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. 2 more goals for Matt Rush. Man, we could have had, but we chose not to. So yeah, that was a bit of a shame, that. But they're in blistering form at the moment, and I fully expect them to go and win this league, really, because like the form they've been in is ridiculous, and the players they've got. That's the thing. If they get a couple of injuries, they've got players they can bring in to make up the numbers in it. Because that's the problem we haven't got. If we get a couple of injuries, we're down to the bare bones. But they've got plenty of forward options. They're scoring a lot of goals. Was it Appiah? Got Player of the Month. I thought it might have been a curse of the Player of the Month, but that doesn't seem to happen because he got another goal. But again as well, probably a big one actually. To be fair, Slough picking up a good point actually against Torquay because Torquay scored very late on. They scored. Dean Moxey scored 89th minute. He did. And I know the manager, Paul Woodson, was very, very unhappy with the way they managed the game after because apparently they had the ball in the corner, I think 94, 95 minutes in the clock. They tried to put a cross in and then Sal went down the other end and scored. So that's 2 big points dropped for them, really. And to be honest, I was looking for the game throughout, obviously, the time our game was on. I thought, we're going to win. And that would have been a great opportunity to cut down some points to them. So when I saw that goal come through, I was like, thank God for that. Because it just cuts it down a little bit. I know Bournemouth would have still got the game in hand over us, but at least the gap's still not opening up. So, it's key. It's key for that. But, and again as well, good win for Worthing. They scored a last-minute winner, I'm pretty sure, down there after being pegged back, I think twice. So, they're starting to find some form as well, which is not helpful because we've got them on Saturday. So, Danny Cashman, hopefully he's not in goal scoring form against us. And same with our ex-striker Mo Fowl. Hopefully they've left their shooting boots at home because it could be a long afternoon otherwise.
Is it at home?
It is at home, thankfully, yeah. And to be fair, with the only side in our league that's beating them away from home like this season, so it's going to be tough. The manager has made it clear in his post-match interview saying, look, they were a different side then, and I don't know if he's trying to play mind games a little bit with us, but it seemed like it a little bit in the interview. So it is going to be an exciting one because Worthing's way they play, it actually suits us because we actually do like to play a high press. They love playing from the back. And to be fair, had we had our shooting boots on that day at their place, we could have won that game more comfortably. So, it'll be a completely different, challenge for us. I fully expect. I know they've brought in a couple of players in recently. One they had last year, I think some Spanish lad, I can't remember his name, is it Odai? I think it is. They'll be looking to almost want to spoil the party a little bit, but they'll be looking to put a damper on us because they'll still see us and think, look, they've lost once in 20 games. And if they win, then they go, above us in the division. So we've got to make sure we win as well because they've still got a game in hand over us. And if they win that, they go above us as well. So if we win, then we at least open up a gap on them. So Saturday's massive, I think, for us in terms of the context of the season. So hopefully we get a result.
Tell me some tips as well, Ben, when you play them, because we have them in the FA Trophy away. So anything you want to tell me that I can pass on to Big Jim, let me know.
Oh, no. I mean, I'm sure he'll do it, Rich. I mean, look, they're very similar to the way they play. Like, they love playing it from the back. They're very confident. They're very good at what they do, Worthing. They score a lot of goals. They've got some very good forward players that we know all too well about. So, I am fully expecting probably one of our toughest challenges in recent weeks. Maybe we played the likes of Torquay, back in November. This would be a real tough one for us. And if we can get a win out of it, that'll be massive. But if we can get a draw, it wouldn't be the worst result in the world for me. But just don't. It's one of those games you just don't want to lose. That's my perspective.
And speaking of wins, talk to us.
Well, long journey again. We love a long journey on a Tuesday night at the moment. I hope that is the last one I have to do that's like over 2 hours long because it was. I didn't get home till 2 a.m, but it is what it is. Look, it wasn't great, to be honest, at Weymouth. I think Gaffer's probably summed it up perfectly. It was a game of two halves. I thought first half we completely dominated large parts of it. And it really did give me the impression of why Weymouth are where they are in the division. They lacks creativity going forward. We played some good stuff at times, and had it not been for their keeper Will Buse, it could have well been more comfortable by half time. Made a couple of fine saves, but thankfully got a goal about just after, I think it was half-hour mark. I think it was Rafe Brown, who hasn't been involved a lot recently because unfortunately he's had injuries. So he came back in for Reece Greenwich, who played last Saturday, and popped up with a goal from the sort of second phase of a corner from Ben Brooks. Another assist for him this year. We thought we'd go on and maybe get at least another one or maybe two more to just make it a bit more comfortable. But that's the thing. Our problem sometimes is that you give teams a bit of an edge, they might come back at you. And second half, I think Weymouth were probably just a little bit better than us in the second half. And we were very, let's be honest, I think I'll be honest with myself, I think we were very lucky to come away with a win because they had a good chance to equalise. They had a penalty, which Brandon Goodship put wide, which was one of the worst penalties I've seen for ages, and that just shows where they are.
Bad.
It was terrible, and it was a penalty as well. So it's not exactly one we can say it was justice because it was a penalty for me. And yeah, it's like that was, I think, against one of the better sides in the division that goes in for me. But just it's a massive confidence thing for Warren Feeney's side. And yeah, we didn't really create too much. The problem is we look so tired at the moment, and this is the thing. The gaffer actually after the game, so obviously I went out to film the players, and that I was expecting a few good celebrations because I thought, look, it's another big win for us, but. A lot of the players were actually really unhappy. There was about the way we played because you're thinking, look, we can't be coming to these sides and struggling to win the game. That's the thing, and they are right because they've won 2 games at home this season, Weymouth, and we didn't want to be that first side to lose to them. That was the main thing. So I'm glad we got the job done. But the gaffer said to the supporters that the very few that came down, it was about 20, 30 of them, I say. So a great effort from our supporters, for a long trip on a Tuesday. But the gaffer walked up to the supporters and said, look, we need help. And I think that was the first thing he said to me, coming off saying we need recruitment like ASAP because the players, we can't bring on players to affect the game, and it's no disrespect to the players we've got on the bench, but we just seem to get weaker as the game goes on. And just, I think a bit of tiredness maybe crept in from Saturday as well. A lot of it took out the players, and obviously with the long journey on the day. I think the gaffer was really, really pleased about how we managed to, get it over the line. But if I say one, because say one thing to our owners is, please can we sign at least 2 or 3 new players because we need some fresh blood in. Yeah. Because if we don't, then we won't go up. That's as simple as that for me. We're still in a good spell where in fact we're not losing games of football too often. We're still winning games, but it will get to a point where it's all right doing it against the bottom teams, but if you don't do it against the top sides, then we will slip down the table, and that's the worry I have. Because all it takes is a couple of defeats, and then suddenly you're slipping outside the playoffs. And
one loss in 19 games, though, in 20 games, even.
Exactly, but it's a shame, really, in a way, because if we'd started the season, I think if we had a great start to the season, even if we just picked up another win or something somewhere along the lines, we would be top of the league right now. And to be fair, if we win our next 2 games, we will at least be top of the league for 24 hours because Bournemouth don't play anything till the Tuesday. So yeah, it's just the main thing is we're staying up, so I'm happy about that. We got the 50-point mark now. More wins for us, and it might be a bit funny, but to be fair, clubs do, bigger clubs in this division do slip out of this league because it is a hard, you can easily slip out. So the first task is make sure you get your 50 points, you stay up. So I'm pleased about that. But
I've got a question. Sorry, of all those things that you've just said, and I don't know if you saw the shock on my face. Warren Feeney is a manager.
Yes, he is. For Weymouth.
Shut up. Oh, I loved him. He play for us. Oh, what a guy.
Unfortunately, his management career is not going in the direction. I mean, to be fair, he did a poor job at Welling, really. And then, obviously, Weymouth, he's coming. Look, they're in a difficult situation, Weymouth, and I do feel a bit sorry for them. Their supporters obviously giving them a lot of stick. And I don't blame them for where they are, because they used to get fairly good crowds there. But where I sat in their stand, I think there was only 5 people on my side of the stand. I think it was a crowd of 500 that night, which for a club like them, they used to get crowds of about at least 1,200. So obviously people falling away in love from it because they've just been used to losing for the last couple of years. So it's a situation for Warren Feeney to walk into, and it probably was a budget manager for them, I guess, in the circumstances. But I think they're going down for me. That I think they're not cut out for it. They just haven't got enough creativity about them. And the fact is they will have a suspended player as well, so they've got a player sent off against us as well. I thought the decision was a bit harsh, having seen the replay. And he was one of their better players as well, Calvin Brooks. But they're in a situation.
I saw that on what's he called? Sol's seems to be on my FYP on TikTok all the time. I saw that challenge on there.
Yeah. And you see, getting credit though this week as well. Actually, that was the first. Honestly, during the warm up, he's going like, "Oh, Ben, you couldn't do me a quick favour and then do what clips you do for George Fowler." I thought, "All right, what are you paying me?" I'm exclusive to George Fowler.
In modern football, it is a red card though.
It is probably, yeah. I mean, it's one of those where I think I would like another camera angle of it, to be fair, because it is quite far away and it is difficult to see the amount of contact. But to be fair, what I said when I got back on the coach was look, Reece Grendy's got sent off for way less he did at Dorking, a few months ago. So if that was a red card, then that was most certainly a red card. So I don't think I've seen that they've appealed it. So I'm assuming they've looked at them for, look, we're not going to get away with that. So they're probably just going to knock that one in the head. But yeah, we're in a good place at the moment. Still keeping in touch with that top.
Let's
top
have a
two
look.
Yeah,
Let's have a look. Yay!
That is so tight though. That's the thing. Like, it just week by week it's getting tighter, and that's the thing. We're gonna have to start playing some of the teams around us soon. Obviously, starting with Worthing. So, but the thing is, though, most of them, to be fair, we've got to play at home. We've still got Bournemouth, Torquay, Worthing, and Dorking all still come to us, which is good because don't get me wrong. I know our away record's been better, but at home, if we get a big crowd behind us, we do make it an intimidating place for teams to come to. So hopefully we can use that to our advantage. But we've got to start with that on Saturday because there's no point doing it against Bournemouth and Torquay if you can't do it against the likes of Worthing and Dorking as well. So yeah, be interested to see how we all panned out then. Just want to stay in there if we can.
I mean, capitals. You're in capitals, Ben.
Yellow, orange-ish.
As well.
Yeah.
Yellow capitals as well.
Yes. We'll quite happy to keep it like that. If it stays where it is, I wouldn't be too unhappy about that. So at least we don't have advantage in the playoffs.
So National League South, the table. So top of the table, we have Boreham Wood on 52 points. Torquay United are second on 52 points. Who's third, Ben?
Mighty Stones.
Yay, on 51 points. In fourth, we have Truro City on 49 points. Worthing are fifth on 49 points. Eastbourne are sixth on 49 points. Dorking Wanderers and Mighty Mark White are seventh on 46 points. You know I love him.
I think he didn't win his coat either.
I know.
I don't know who won the coat. I'm really disappointed.
I might just ask for a signed picture. He'll just have a signed picture. Put it up.
Can have one of your caps instead.
Yeah. In the relegation zone, we have St Albans City on 19 points. Enfield Town are 22nd on 19 points. Aveley are 23rd on 17 points. And then, as we did mention, bottom of National League South are Weymouth on 15 points. And we are going to talk the Championship now. Anne, do you want to start? Do you want to talk to us about all things Sunderland?
What, the football or
whatever you want to talk about? Just tell us anything.
Well,
have you got a rant?
Have a what? Sorry.
Have you got a rant?
I ranted yesterday, so I ranted yesterday's podcast, I'm afraid.
How about that? There's got to be a rant about that, surely.
What about
the penalty misses against Burnley?
I'm not ranting about that. I thought there were. Well, I'm ranting about their goalkeeper. But that one. I actually, when you were talking before, because I thought I'd have a quick look to see how Beershot were doing, because I've obviously got Beershot top on today. Claire fondly mentioned that anytime we adopt a team, the terrible, Beershot at the bottom of the league. So this is getting thrown away.
Oh my God.
But yeah, going on to Friday's game, I'll start with that one. I know we played twice. I would have took a draw beforehand. I would have bit your hand off for a draw beforehand. I think after the game, obviously, a little bit disappointed with not picking up the 3 points. Thought we were the better team. I think Burnley, I wouldn't like to watch them every week. And I know they won 5-0 yesterday against Plymouth, but that's against a very poor Plymouth side. Yeah. But I wouldn't like to watch them every week. For promotion contenders, I was disappointed. I've seen us play like all three of them now. Obviously, we've played Sheffield United twice. We've now played Burnley twice. We've took 4 points off Burnley. And I've just been disappointed with them. I don't think they've got that attacking prowess to hurt teams. And again, this is coming off the back of them beating Plymouth 5-0. But the good thing is about them is they don't concede many at all, and they've got like players at the back who are very good footballers, good defenders. But we got through them loads of times on Friday night. We missed a really good chance. Wilson missed one, like a one-on-one. He hits the outside of the post, which probably should have scored. Take the 2 penalties away. I've got to be honest. I think the first penalty is not. It's outside the box. But if the referee gets that right, which is a little bit like kind of counterproductive for the referee, because if he gets that right and gets it outside the box, he's got to send the player off who's made the foul, because a double jeopardy doesn't count for a penalty. So he's give the penalty, give a yellow card to the player, and then James Trafford's, dollied around for 2.5 minutes, doing his laces or doing whatever he needed to do. And Wilson just hit it as hard as he could. Keeper's made it. I don't think it's a very good penalty, but keeper saved it. And then you're thinking, right, okay. And then the second penalty comes along, which I actually think, I know a lot of people said it wasn't one. I thought it was Stonewall, to be honest. I think the play goes through the back of Dennis Serkin, and there is contact. So for me, it's a penalty. And then Trafford suddenly goes down, claiming he's got a hamstring injury. He gets booked for that one, where if he'd been booked in the first instance, he would have been sent off. But then Wilson goes the same way and misses again. And what I've got to say, like, for the fans, obviously, they must have been so gutted, but the fact that they gave Wilson a hell of a cheer afterwards and stuff, and even the Burnley players patting him on the back, I thought that was really good sportsmanship from him. But our fans were just mint with him, and you just got to remember with Wilson Isidore, he scored so many great goals for us this season, so many important goals, and he'll recover from it. You know what I mean? He nearly did the other night, and in fact, he shouldn't have done the other night. We'll get into that. We'll get into that one a little bit later on, because there might be a rant coming from there. But yeah, well, that one I would have took a draw beforehand, but it did feel like it was a massive kick in the, that region downstairs when you missed 2 penalties. But it is what it is. You recover from it. And I said in our group chat, I like to think. I'm doing like the deeply thing and thinking positive, and I thought it was an excellent performance, an excellent point against a good side defensively. Johnny just mentioned there about Enzo Lefebvre. He looks unbelievable. He looks absolutely unbelievable. He looks as if he's like a different level from any other player.
100%.
And as soon as we play him in the 10 or the 8 where he is, shouldn't it? In the 10 or the 8 where he's good at play, I think he'd be absolutely excellent. We're being linked, obviously, like we got linked with Tom Cannon, and he's gone to Sheffield United. I think that's a good sign, but I don't think he's worth 13 million quid.
No.
I think that's a lot of money for a player who's unproven in the Premiership, and that's where you want to be. Good Championship player, don't get us wrong. But we've been linked today with Chukwuemeka Akpong, who was at Borough and went to Ajax. I don't think he's done it at Ajax that much, but if we get him on loan, I think that's a tremendous sign, and I've got to be
very good.
That'd be great for us. That's like a proper number 9 that we need. Obviously, I'll get it to Tuesday when we go on to Tuesday, but I would have took a draw before, and it meant we lost a little bit of ground on Leeds and Sheffield United, but they've still got to play each other. And I still say this from about 2 months ago when we went on our blip, but now we've recovered from our blip. Now we've only lost 2 in 21 games. We've recovered from that blip. There's still those 3 that I think will go on a blip. I think Leeds will go. I think Leeds will have a blip. I think Sheffield United will have a blip, and I think Burnley will have a blip where, like you say, lose 3 out of 4 or whatever. And we've just got to be there or thereabouts to react to that, and then I think we'll be okay. I still think we're the best, bar Leeds. I think we're the best footballing side in this division. So that'll be. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And what happens. You know what I mean? But even if we make the playoffs, I would back us against any other team. I would hope. I mean, I really hope now, even though I really want us and Burnley to go up because just for how close me and Dan are. But I would love to play Burnley in the final and beat them, and just so we can wrap it up at James Trafford, because the fact
that'd be good.
The fact he did the Isaac celebration, so I was like, "Come on, man, you played Tim Pot, man, you played for Burnley." But it is what it is.
Just quickly though, I know it's an easy thing to say, in hindsight, but do you feel with the stage of the game and that, obviously having missed one just to come in for that, should someone else have taken the second penalty?
Yeah, I mean, I said I probably would. It probably needed maybe the captain to say something, but the bother is what happens if the other lad misses. You can wait, let Wilson take it. And the problem is with us, because the team's so young. We've got like Joe Bellingham, who I expected to take it actually. The second one, I thought Bellingham would step up. But if he misses, and the fact that the team's that young, maybe they didn't want that kind of pressure and that late into a game against a side that's in and around us. And for me as well, fair play to Wilson for actually stepping up and actually doing that. Yes, he missed. Players miss penalties. It is what it is. Better players than Wilson Isidore missed 2 penalties in one game. You know what I mean? So
I can't believe you put it in the exact same spot twice, though.
Well, again, it's
that's it.
Apparently, though, I mean, I haven't watched his career. I'd heard of him before he came to Sunderland, but I didn't obviously fully watch his career. But that they were the first 2 penalties he's missed in his career. So I mean, it's like if you kind of miss one, you might as well miss 2. You know what I mean? But he'd be absolutely fine.
It was at the end where he was sobbing. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. And to be fair, like. And what we'd said, obviously, there was a little bit like and stuff like that about him. But the fact that, we've gone through like 6 years of having strikers that have came here and not really cared, about, your Ross Stewarts and stuff, who I thought was excellent. But, I'm not gonna mention what, a few players, you've seen them on the Sun Until I Die documentaries and all that. And actually, not even just strikers, but players who came here and not give a shit. Wilson's came in straight away from day one, got what the club was about. You see him sometimes on the full-time one singing the Wise Men Say at the end and all that. He absolutely loves it here. He loves the fans, and we love him just as much. So he'll be absolutely fine. So, yeah, it is what it like I say, it is what it is.
You can't blame him as well for going in the same place twice, because that's the thing. I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to smash it. That's the thing. I think in that stage, it's just put your foot through it, and to be honest, it just didn't come off. Like sometimes it happens, doesn't it? Because
you've got to remember as well, for England. I think it was in England in the 19s that Trafford, saved 3 penalties in the penalty shootout. The James Trafford is an excellent penalty saver. For all he's a shit house, so this, that, and the other. He is a very good penalty saver. So it happens. So it was something that I was a little bit like flummoxed and a little bit angry about it for about 10 minutes, and then I was like, right, fair enough, get out of the next game. We haven't lost, so on to the next one. What we did, what I thought was really good for Sunderland, is against Derby. We got a professional performance done, we got the job done, we won. So we've forgotten about it straight away. So that's great. And the manager straight away said, he'll get over it, he'll be fine. We go on to the next game, and just haven't really mentioned it. So it's fine. It's cool.
Just going back to the chat as well, obviously, there was a little bit of drama in, I know it's not the Premier League podcast, but there was a little bit of drama in the game. It went to 1-1, and then Chris decided to go to the toilet, and then he missed the United goal. It's 2-1 Bruno. And now Sam is wanting Chris to go to the bathroom at least 3 times every United match. So I think you need to just sit on the toilet throughout the United matches, Chris, because you're going to help Sam a lot by doing that. But yes, Championship. I will go to. Do you know what, Rebecca? I've not heard much from you, bless you. You've just been there quiet, haven't you? Any standouts in these fixtures already you do want to talk about?
There is just something I want to mention before I talk about fixtures.
Of course.
There was, I don't know if any of you know who he is, but there was a huge signing for West Brom yesterday. They have signed Isaac Price, who is one of our standout under-21s players at Everton. He was captain quite a few times, and he is a very strong player, and he's only 21. They have signed him from Standard Liège. While being up there, he has been one of the go-to players, scoring week in, week out sometimes. And he got selected for the Northern Ireland national team, in which I think he's won Goal of the Year for them, or like Young Player of the Season. Like, he's won an award with them, and he's now back, but he's now with West Brom. So I am very happy for him and hope that he can pick up well in the Championship, and maybe we'll see him in the Prem one day.
Do you know what as well? I will say for him as well, like, because I do know him, and he is a fantastic footballer. He has got the perfect manager as well to nourish his talent and to get him to the next level than Tony Mowbray. You couldn't have asked for a better manager to manage young players like what Mowbray does. So I'm over the moon for him. Like, obviously that kind of segues into Tony Mowbray's back in football, so we're all happy, aren't we? You know what I mean? What a lovely thing that he's back and that he can do something that he enjoys. I know they lost the first game to Borough, but he'll be absolutely fine there. They'll be fine. He'll do so well under him. So it is a great sign for them. Looking forward to seeing him. Hopefully he doesn't play that well against us when we play them next month.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at our little chat thing.
My bad.
Any standouts here? And Johnny, I know. I just thought it'd be fun.
Yeah.
To be honest.
To whoever Charlotte wants to play is playing on a Saturday, man. Don't worry.
Because you know what? I'm sick, and I love you all very much in the chat, but I am sick of making the odd mistake here and there and you all calling me out. So do you know what? Now I'm going to purposely add mistakes to each of your clubs to get a kick out of it. New year, new me and all that. Any standouts for everyone on here?
I think both Oxford and Portsmouth had really good wins because obviously they struggling a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, honestly, right. Honestly, do you know what though? Like, I thought, no, genuinely, like, I thought, do you know what? I'm going to do it on purpose now and again because I'm so sick of spending hours and hours and hours and hours and hours doing a graphic. I do one little mistake and everyone's on at me. So I thought, every person, it was Johnny's turn this week. Next week, it might be Coventry. It might be Spennymoor. It might be Gateshead. Who knows? Who knows?
Just as long as next week you don't put that, like, Plymouth Argyle will play Newcastle United or something, and
no,
because we've got Plymouth on Saturday. That's all.
No,
I'll really tip you over the edge.
Yeah, probably would.
But yeah, just on these fixtures, any standouts on this one before we do move on to the midweek ones?
Go on. Sorry.
Okay. I was just going to say, like a bit like Claire, yeah, Oxford United win against Blackburn. They've suddenly come out of absolutely nowhere now, haven't they? Oxford, everyone had them all certain to go down, and again, they're probably about 5 wins away now from staying up in the division. So yeah, you know, that's the thing. I don't think they would have imagined being near the mid-table in that, you know, in their first season back in the Championship. So yeah, I'm delighted for them against a good Blackburn side who have been, you know, very strong this season. Like we said, if Oxford are going to stay up, they need to take advantage of their home record, and they have at least done that on this occasion against a good side.
Do you know what it is as well? Since I think it's Gary Rowter's gone in there, hasn't it? But since he's gone in there, and we did see, you know, and we probably were right that the sackling of Des Buckingham I thought was a really poor decision, but it just goes to show that sometimes it is needed because they're top of the form table now. Yeah. You know, and that includes, you know, Leeds, that includes Sheffield United, includes us. You know, the big four who are running away with it in the league. Like there's a guy, Oxford United are bang up there. So it just shows. Just goes to show that what a good job he's done since he's gone in. And Claire mentioned Portsmouth as well. They are flying at home. They just cannot do it away from home. That's their bother. No. But at home at Fratton Park, they're a team to be reckoned with, and that might keep them in this league. Because you've got a lot of teams at the minute, you know, likes of Plymouth who are really, really struggling now. You know, before Saturday, Cardiff were struggling. You know, massive result for them. But the likes of Stoke City, who are really having a bad run, Luton, who have sacked their manager, and that little bounce hasn't quite happened yet. The likes of Portsmouth and Oxford, who are picking those results up, are going to quickly overtake them. So it's going to be an interesting second half of the season at the top and the bottom, I think. And
just out of these teams here, is it a bit of a madness that there's talk of Tom Cleverley losing his job when they're like a point outside the play?
It's crazy.
He had that good win.
And it just goes to show as well that the owners at Watford are wanting immediate success, but you can't have success if you just sack a new manager every 8-9 months. You know what I mean? I know a few, Watford fans I'm very good friends with. They're doing Scratch Your Eyes, the lads there doing the Scratch Your Eyes podcast. Yeah. And I know for a fact they're going mad about it. It's crazy.
As well. Sorry, carry on.
I'm just saying that the 1 point away, it's a win. It's a win away from the playoffs. Yeah. It does not make sense. I mean, obviously, we don't know if it's going to, if it's true or whatever, but I mean, there are rumours at the minute, but there's got to be there's no smoke without fire, is there? When it's coming from various media outlets that, that he is under pressure. And Watford, I've had to make a statement saying he's going to be in charge of Saturday, but then immediately puts massive pressure on that game on Saturday. Basically, if they lose, he's gone, isn't he? So it's like,
yeah. But the thing is as well, like with such a huge manager churn, like they've got at Watford at the moment, like if they're not giving these managers enough time to build their squad and actually have some success, like what makes them think that they're going to get these like really successful managers come in? Because they know they're going to get 5 minutes, and if they don't get instant success, then they're getting sacked. So what is the draw of going to that team?
Well, there isn't one. There isn't one at all. And the problem is with Tom Cleverley, like when it was round about this time last year, I think it was like March, wasn't it, when he came in, and they were near the bottom, and he got them out the bottom three. They finished above Sunderland last year, and we were like, because obviously we were going in that direction as well. And then he's, this year he's done a really good job. They've got some good players there. They've got, they are a good side. Yes, they've fallen away a little bit, but who doesn't have, a lot of teams, and I've said this time again, every team this season will have a blip. And that's what they're having. They're having a little bit of a run of poor form, and they're literally just jumping the gun straight away because, they're kind of thinking, well, if we sack our manager, we'll bring another one in. He'll do much better than Tom Cleverley, but there's no guarantee. And you've got to remember as well that them players in that dressing room will be 100% behind Tom Cleverley.
Yeah.
So will them players want to play for whoever it is who's coming in? I don't think so. I think it's a really, really silly decision. And Sam said Kayembe is our best player, been injured for a long time.
Definitely.
So,
they'll bring in, like, you'll get rid of him and they'll bring in another foreign manager that no one's ever heard of, that doesn't understand, English football like Tom Cleverley will, and then they'll just go realistically down. The thing is, though, when you look at the table, realistically, they're only going to get 5th or 6th place, to be honest, because the top 4 are a good 13 points ahead of them. So, like, look, realistically, they can get one of those last 2 playoff spots. And you think they're not going to get automatic promotion. So you think, look, for where they are, they're doing really well to stay within that pack. That's the thing. There's every chance that they could get a playoff place. It's so competitive. Week by week, you don't know who's going to be in that top 6. So, yeah, I if that does happen, that's, but then again, it doesn't surprise me because Watford, the club, like you said, the manager turns they've had over the last 10 years is absolutely ridiculous. I don't think any club in English football has had as many managers as they've had. And, as for fans as well, they can't connect with, that's the thing. Yeah. They can't connect with the manager either. Everyone loves it. I mean, look, Claire, you connected with Dave Planning over the years. And, obviously, Amy, you would have had the likes of Roy Keane as well. I've had, Jay Saunders, Maidstone. We've all had our own managers that we've sort of, acquired to. And Tom Cleverley, I think, has got that sort of potential to be, that sort of manager for Watford. How are they going to do that? They're not going to give him a chance. That's what I don't get. So I think that would be beyond a joke if they let him go.
Sorry, Anne. I was going to say, I hope it's just one of those really stupid rumours that has no substance. And even if they were thinking about doing it, hopefully now they've seen that people don't want that to happen, because when you look at like the posts on Watford's Twitter page, like the fans are not happy with that rumour. So maybe they're seeing it now and thinking, oh shit, we need to actually give this guy a bit of time. And I know that not many owners would think like that because they do what they want to do. But if they have, then do you know what? Good. They're listening to what people want.
Yeah. And you got to think as well, like, if you're a Watford fan with expectations this year, and what were your expectations? Bear in mind, it's quite I think it is quite a good competitive championship league this year. There isn't like a Leicester or a Burnley who ran away with it the last couple of years. Yes, the top 4 are the top 4. You know what I mean? That they're probably going to be the top 4. come hell or high water by the end of the season. But it's still quite a competitive league. There's still some good sides in there. You know, the likes of Gab Sutton and stuff like that. They had Watford finishing bottom. You know, a lot of the big pundits had Watford in for a struggle this year. And the fact that they were pointing off the playoffs, for me, it's a success. You know, so, you know, and if every manager, you know, if every team sat the manager on a blip, you know, we mentioned last season about Charlie at Stockey, and you were saying, obviously, people were saying, "Oh, has he done? Has his time come?" No, give him time. Stoke won't get promoted. I mean, we went on a run this year. Yeah, we started really well. We went on a run where I think we won 1 in 13, and we were still like, you know, 5th, 6th, or whatever. You know, we were still in the playoffs, and you know, but no one went, "Oh, is Reggie under pressure?" No one said it because it would have been stupid to even think about that. You know what I mean? Every team in the country, you're looking now, the best manager that's probably like ever existed in Pep Guardiola, like in man management skills, is having a blip at Man City, the best team in the world, right? And Man City going to sack Pep Guardiola? No. You know what I mean? Arne Slott's going to have a blip at Liverpool. You know, are they going to sack him? No. You know, Klopp had loads of blips at Liverpool. You know what I mean? Did they sack him? No, because they knew he would turn it around. Yeah. Now, if Watford are going to do that after every single blip, they're never going to get any traction or get anywhere in this league. Yep. Because they're just kicking themselves in the balls. Now it's taking 1 step forward, 2 steps back, time and time again. And now the rumour is, they're going to get whoever comes in, they'll give them some money. That doesn't guarantee you nothing in this league. You know what I mean? Because then players have got to instantly gel. So for me, it's all. And I really hope Tom Cleverley stays as well. And if he does go, I really hope someone picks him up because he is a good young manager. So he'll come out of there with his head held high. A bit like Rob Edwards, when they got to Rob Edwards so quickly, he went on to a better job, got Luton promoted into the Premier League. So it'll happen. And the same thing happened with Tom Cleverley.
I know Charlotte instantly smiled at that, didn't she?
I know you have to go very, very soon, Anne. So do you want to talk Sunderland before you go?
Yeah, I'll just quickly mention the Derby game.
Of course.
Tuesday now, wasn't it? No, I was thinking last night. It was last night, but it wasn't. It was Tuesday. Yeah, just a good, like I say, good solid performance. Good to get, 3 points after obviously the difficult result against Burnley. Yeah, nice to see Eliza Mayenda get a goal as well, because he's been playing really well for us this year. And this time last year, we farmed him out to Hibs on loan. Thought he would get game time. Turned out he wasn't even getting a game for the 23s. They didn't see him being a very good footballer at all. He's come in this year. I think Reggie's done really well with him, and he looks a really good player now as well. And he scored. Probably should have had more. Derby came into the game. Brought I can't remember his name who they brought on, but he's like a new Danish striker, I think, and he kind of changed the game. Really, he was getting some headers out. Keepers had to make a couple of really good saves, but then Reggie's made a really, really good tactical change in bringing Dan Ballard on, and we went to 2 big lads at the back with him and Mepham, moved O'Nien out of left back. And Ballard, immediately stopped their lad, getting the ball. He was just beating him in the air all the time. And Wilson's gone through, literally went on a 90-yard run with the ball. He should have squared it, but I think he was wanting to make do his mistake against Burnley. He's went to hit it. The keeper's made a decent save. It's gone out for a corner, but that would have been the goal of the season. And then, as Johnny's just put on there, the disallowed goal, I put it in our group chat. I don't know if you've watched it, but I still can't work out why that goal was disallowed. Apparently they said he was offside. He's not offside.
No.
And then Enzo's kind of got through. Wilson's come across their defender. They've collided. Enzo's kind of hit the ball off the defender, then hit like Enzo's elbow. Wilson's banged the ball in. The referee gives a goal. The linesman's running back to the halfway line. I'm celebrating like mad in the house. And then all of a sudden, thinking, what's happening here? Because they haven't Derby haven't kicked off. What's happening? You know what I mean? Derby haven't kicked off. It's 2-0, and the thing didn't change. The score didn't change. What's actually happened? And I literally, for about 5 minutes, was sat there, and my girlfriend's like, going, what's the matter? I was like, I don't know why they've not given that goal, and I still don't know.
Even Morrison on that commentary when you sent it in our WhatsApp group, he was like, I don't know what's going on. Yeah. He was telling because why is this perfectly good goal been disallowed? And there was no like obvious reason.
Yeah, and to be fair to Clinton Morrison, like I quite like that because we've had a lot this year of like in the Burnley game. I thought Don Goodman was very biased towards Burnley, and Don Goodman used to play for Sunderland. So I don't know what we've done to him, but Andy Hinchcliffe's the same. We had Chris Awellamo when we played Luton, who was literally just begging for a Luton goal. You know, we have a lot of like the media for some reason are against us, but for Clinton to come out and say that, I thought that was really, really nice. But he's right, you know, like, you cannot really defend that. There's no like defense to that referee. Apparently, as Johnny said there, it's come from the fourth official. Well, you can't do that because we don't have VAR in the Championship, so the fourth official can't officiate the game. So if that's happened,
that on Twitter came from one of those stupid accounts, so I'd take that with a pinch of salt. Sorry, Johnny.
Yeah, I mean, I know the referee, like when they're walking back, they do like an outward panel of the goal, and the referee's going out that his radio, but I don't know if it's team or the linesman or whatever.
Yeah.
But listen, they've come to the wrong conclusion. Luckily, it hasn't cost us. You know what I mean? Had Derby gone down and scored, I think there'd have been. Pardon me. I think there'd have been a lot more fume about it. But, you know, today, even in the press conference, you know, Regis was getting asked about it 2 or 3 times. He said, it's over with now. We're focusing on Saturday, which I think is the right way to go about it. You can't change it. So, you know, never mind. We go on to Plymouth on Saturday, which is, I don't want to make of it because they got beat 5-0 yesterday. And I just know they're going to come and put 11 behind the ball. They're going to make it difficult. You know, I would take another 1-0. You just got to keep on winning now.
Is it away or home?
Pardon?
Is it away or home?
We're at home. Yeah, we're at home. And Plymouth actually beat us in one of Rooney's only 2 wins. It's Plymouth managed one was us. And
it's a long trip for the Plymouth fans, isn't it?
Well, the thing is as well, Plymouth are on a record equaling run of not having a win, and they're playing us, and we're the record breakers, man. You know what I mean? If a team or a player are having a really bad run, just come to Sunderland and you'll either score or you'll win. So I'm really nervous. I've got to be honest, I am nervous. I'm more nervous about Plymouth than I was Burnley, which is weird. You know what I mean? I actually thought of Burnley. I was confident we'd go down and get something. This one on Saturday, I just want us to win. I'm not bothered how we win. I don't like people like saying, "Oh, we need to be beating them 5-6-0." Make a statement. I couldn't give a monkeys, to be honest. On that 1-0 off a deflection of somebody's ass on team A. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Just 3 points is 3 points, no matter what you look at it. So yeah.
Don't worry anyway, because I've got the power to change the results.
Exactly.
Do not worry. I can come on here next week and you've won 10-0. Yeah. Do not worry.
It's unfortunate as well because I'm not actually going. I really wanted to go, but my mate's 40, so we're going down Lincoln for his birthday. So I'll not be able to watch it, I'm afraid.
Before you go as well, Ant, do you want to plug your socials where everybody can find you?
Yeah, you can find us on @HowAirPod, at @Ant_Watson on Twitter, but I am within the next couple of weeks 100% definitely coming off Twitter because I got banned on Friday night on Twitter for some stupid reason, and you've got people, you know, freely doing racist and this, that, and the other on Twitter. So I've had enough of it. So I will be coming off it. And I'll be going on Blue Sky, but I'll send you me stuff when I'm on there. But yeah, thanks everybody. I do have to go because I've got to be up dead early in the morning. So enjoy the rest of the podcast, everyone. I'm so sorry for listening. But you all take care. Bye.
Bye, Anne.
Okay, bye. Oh, look at that smile, Anne.
What let us bloody log off there? Right?
Would you like me to remove you? Oh, he's done it.
He's done.
Bless him. But yes, let's talk the rest of the championship. So Johnny put about their result. We were charged with Swansea today with a fight over the red card for Swansea. So they were charged. They were charged over the red card for Swansea, I think.
Oh.
Don't know. Rebecca, I'll come to you. Any standouts on here or any you want to talk about?
Coventry beating Blackburn 2-0.
Yes.
I mean, Blackburn have fallen off a bit. I was speaking to my brother. He's a Rovers fan. And a lot of them are blaming injuries at the minute and the lack of striker, which they're calling out for that they need. I mean, it's one of them. it is a bit of a bad run for Blackburn. Didn't expect it with how high flying they have been recently, but I think at the moment every team in the Championship is either going through a blip or has gone through the blip, and they're now on the other side of it. So yeah, fair play to Coventry, but it's always good to see Ellis Sims score.
Love that. Just to correct as well, Johnny has put this for you, Claire.
Okay.
Ben, any standouts on here for you, or any you want to talk about?
I mean, I would have said the Coventry one actually. Super Frankie's. I knew he was a good manager. See, like, you got doubting. What was it? What was the fuss?
We did.
I mean, they're only. I think they're only 7 points off the playoffs, to be fair. I know it is a bit of an ask for them. Like, they probably will slip off again, but they're not a million miles away from it. But then again, they're only 9 points of relegation. So you know how quick that's the thing. So there are obviously a lot of teams fighting for it. But yeah, I mean, I did watch the Burnley game last night, and I thought, as poor as Plymouth were, I thought Burnley played some really good stuff, actually. They scored a couple of really good goals, but the fifth goal just sums up Plymouth's season at the moment. It was an absolute diabolical mistake at the back with pass backs and just not dealing with it, just clearing their lines. And, you know, it annoys me sometimes. You think when teams like score so many goals and they just take I know it's easy in those sort of games to take your foot off the gas, but if you're a Burnley fan, you know, you travel all that way, you know, they're kicking down towards you second half. You think, oh, come on, let's have one or two more goals, because they could have easily had it, but I think because they knew the game was done, they didn't want to sort of, you know, go over the top and risk getting any injuries. So I understand why, but as a fan, I'm like, oh, come on, we've travelled this way. Let's try and have another goal in that for, you know, the fans at this end. But yeah, that's a good result, Burnley, obviously, for a side that never scored more than one goal a game. As I was saying to Dan last night, I was like, you know, your players were probably running out of celebration, thinking, we don't what are we doing? And that's it. But I mean, I didn't actually realize, obviously, until the last few weeks, how good their defensive record is. Was it 9 goals they conceded in 28 games? That is unbelievable. Like, that's the thing. Do you know what? I'd much rather have a record like that, you know, score 1 goal a game, but then win 1-0 every week. I would like, you know, that satisfies me all the time. I don't need to beat teams 4 or 5-0 to have a good time. As long as you win, you don't care. And obviously, clean sheets are like the best thing, I think, as a supporter, because you just know that's the thing, how good your defence are. And fair play to Scott Parker, because obviously everyone didn't fancy Burnley this year. I don't think as much as they have done in previous years when they've been in the Championship, but they're in a good place at the moment, and you know, still keeping intact. They're only 3 points off the top, so yeah, it might well change. But the difference is, will there be a game where they concede 2 or 3, and you think, does it start to change a little bit? But you know, we'll see in that. He's doing a good job as far as I'm concerned.
100%. He's definitely got the experience as well, the Championship experience, hasn't he? So as much as Burnley fans were obviously a little bit hesitant and the style of football and things like that, obviously he's doing very well there.
And you don't at this type of football, say they got promoted in 2 or 3 time, they're not going to think, oh yeah, but it was really boring, are they?
Yeah.
It's about winning.
Exactly. Any standouts for you on here, Claire?
I wouldn't really say like standouts. I think we've done the main.
Again as well. Johnny mentioned their home record.
Portsmouth are doing really well at home now, and they did have a tough start. So yeah, probably that one really. Again, Oxford as well. 2 good wins from both.
100%. Let's quickly have a look at the table and then we will move on. To be fair play to Plymouth, who drew 0-0 in the second half, 5-0 down at half time. So at least they've got some positivity.
It's a good job we didn't have that Plymouth fan on this week.
I know, bless him.
It's so lovely.
It was.
Did anyone say though the fact that the post-match interview that the manager said apparently one of their players didn't even turn up for the game? He just didn't bother. So Morgan Whittaker, I think it was. He said, he said he was down to be in the selection for the team and he just didn't turn up. So
is he the one who's being linked? He's the one being linked with a move, isn't he, Whittaker?
Is he? Oh,
yeah. Well, I'm sure were we talking about it? I'm sure it was Whittaker last week who we were talking about.
I hope he's got fined for that.
Well, I'd say fine. I'd be dropping him, to be honest. If you're not going to turn up, I won't play you then. So that is terrible. That's the thing, because regardless of whether they're in a relegation battle or not, you know, the fans pay so much money to come and watch you. They're paying like your wages. So, you know, you turn up and play games football, at least be available for selection. So I'd love to see the reasoning behind that. Because
a move falls through as well, and you've got to stay at that club where you've been a bit of a twat.
Mm.
Nah,
Yeah.
I think that's horrible.
No,
It's not just that though. If I was another club looking at it from an outside perspective, I'd be like, do I really want to sign, as much as he's a good player, do I really want to sign someone who do this? Would he jump ship and do this to my club if he wanted to move? Like, it kind of, I don't like that. I think it's really disrespectful, especially to the fans who obviously pay their money and have supported him. I don't like that. If it is that, obviously, I don't want to say something in case, obviously, there has been another issue somewhere, but I know he has obviously been linked with other clubs. But if it is down to the fact he does want a move, I just think it's really disrespectful.
Did Burnley put in an offer for him as well?
Yeah, I think Johnny's just put that in the chat. Yeah.
Sorry, John boy.
So the championship table, so top of the table, we have Leeds United on 59 points, Sheffield United a second. See, Johnny, might have done that for a bit of banter, but at least I've still put you second. Could have put you bottom. See? Sheffield United are second on 58 points, Burnley a third on 56 points, Sunderland are fourth on 54 points. Then we have Middlesbrough, who are fifth on 44 points, and Blackburn Rovers, who are sixth on 42 points. And then, unfortunately, in the bottom, in the relegation zone, we have Hull City, who was 22nd on 26 points, Luton Town, 23rd on 26 points, and Plymouth Argyle are bottom of the championship table on 21 points. Aww,
you know what? I feel like Luton being there is a perfect example of what I've said so many times, is that if you get yourselves promoted too soon, it can have a properly detrimental impact. Not just the fact that you might get relegated straight away, but then that losing mentality that comes in. And obviously, look at them now. I think they've just gone a bit above the station too quickly last season.
I think they're putting in a lot of money into this. Is it new ground and a ground investment as well? So I don't think they've been putting as much money into the squad as they are obviously the ground. So I know it's a good thing for the future, but obviously at the minute it's not ideal for them, is it?
And get into that nice spanking new ground when you're in League One.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. No. Let me go back to my graphics. I tell you what, Claire, do you want us to talk Stockport? We are in League One.
So we got ourselves there. I suppose, obviously we've not been doing too well recently, and we had our first win since the 20th of December. Obviously in that time we'd had 2 draws and 3 defeats, one of which was in the FA Cup against Crystal Palace, but we gave Palace a really, really good game. And as I said at the time, I think when you have such a good performance against a team like that, it can really sort of perk your team up a bit, sort of get you back on track a little bit, and that proves to be the case on Saturday against Reading. So obviously it has been a while without winning, and all anybody anywhere was talking about was Stockport County have lost Louis Barry and now they're struggling. And you all know how much I love Louis, but we've had players before, we've had players that are going to go in the future. We're a football club that's not just about one player. And there was probably valid concerns because he'd scored more than 50% of our goals. So you have to think sort of, where's the surplus? Well, where are they going to come from? We have today signed someone called Micah Hamilton from Middlesbrough. And there's been a lot of talk about that because he's actually played 13 games this season for Middlesbrough. So a lot of people were really shocked that he'd come out on loan. Anyway, we got a 3-1 win. We were 2-1 up. Kind of get to that little bit of a feeling where you're like, ooh, are we going to concede? But we didn't. 7 minutes later, we went and got our third goal. Funny story. It's not funny, actually. But have you seen football where these little shin pads that are about this big?
Yeah.
So Tanto had to come off injured because he got a kick in the shin. Now, Dave Challoner brought it up in his post-match interview that it's his own fault because he wears these stupidly short shin pads. And he's like, I've made it clear in the past what I think about them. And I've got to make it clear again because literally this injury is his own doing. He's not protecting his shins. So there comes another debate, like, why are people wearing these short shin pads? Is it for fashion? Like, what is it? Because they've been proper shin pads for so many years, and now people are using different ones, and they're like, whether it's just a knock or he's injured, nobody knows at this point because we tend to keep it really well guarded now. Like, what's going on with our squad, and like, we seem to keep it under wraps, and I think a lot of it so that people don't really know what we're going to do the next game. But anyway, sorry, going off on a tangent there.
No, don't worry.
Yeah, nice 3-1 win. Jack Diamond scoring, which I think is really nice. And obviously, Ant and I have discussed previously the issues he's had outside of football, and it must have had such a mental toll on him. So hopefully he's now going to use this time with us. I know he's got a 3-year contract, but hopefully it can really be the catalyst for him getting on track in his career again. We did get battered in terms of possession by Reading. We only had 37% possession, but we had 18 shots on goal, 11 on target. Reading had 1 attempt on target and scored it. So where it mattered, obviously we're doing a lot better. And it's really pleasing because obviously, like we said, you lose a key player, you have to change the way that you play. So obviously we're adapting back to a way that we've played before with Tanto and Wootton, and it's working. And hopefully this Hamilton's coming in and is going to improve that again. Also plays the same sort of way as Libby. So fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Oh, I can't believe we can't sing that song though.
Micah Hamilton. Do I have the same ring?
Just quickly though, actually on that shin pad situation, maybe is it time maybe for officials to start checking them before they go out on the pitch? Because obviously they check all their stats at the time. They should start checking what shin pads they're wearing because like they think it is his own fault why he gets injured. Because I don't understand this whole thing, especially with the ones that put their socks down so low as well. Do you know what? I really don't like that.
Put them.
Andy Gilmore does that.
I know it's all becoming too comfortable now.
There's no legislation in terms of like the shin pads you have to wear, but then again, even if there's not, should like not just County but other teams, should the manager be saying like you're not fucking wearing them?
Yeah,
you need to protect.
I won't wear them if someone said that to me. No, you're wearing them.
Like, at the end of the day, two managers are trying to. That's the thing. The first one is they have to protect their players as well. You know, the safety for them. But that's the thing. I'd be going to myself, no, if you're wearing those, you're not playing because, like I say, I don't want you getting injured. I think it's ridiculous the players that do it, and what goes through their minds when they're doing it? It's like you're just going to get kicked. You're asking to get kicked in the shin because people will see that and go, "Oh, do you know what? I'm going to go for him because get him injured." That's the thing. Players will do that. They won't take no mercy on people.
And the thing is, like with Tanto, and I apologise for, you know, doing this to him because I really like him. I don't like to speak bad of players, and you know, you'll rarely see me doing so. But I think with Tanto, and I mean this really constructively, I feel dead bad saying anything negative, but Tanto has been quite injury prone this season.
Yeah,
he's had like a few different spells out on the sidelines with an injury. And you just think each of those times you're coming back and you're fighting your way back into the team. Like, how many times is it going to be before Charlie says, like, no, like, you're too injury prone, you're sitting on the bench?
100%.
Like, and he's very much a confidence player. And I've said this so many times, like, I love Tanto. And when his confidence is there, he'll score, he'll bag, he'll score loads of goals. But how's he going to get that confidence and that consistency if he's always getting injured? But mostly, like, if he's getting unavoidable knocks as well. Like, hopefully he's not injured now. Hopefully it was just a knock and he just needed to come off that game. Like I say, nobody's really aware at the moment. But I just think if he is injured and he's done it to himself, then something he's doing about that. I did actually ask him about it pre-season before last, when we were all in Spain, and I'm pretty sure it was either him or Maka, and I can't remember which one it was, said that they feel like they get shin splints when they wear full-size shin pads.
All right.
So if it is like a medical thing, then maybe you can understand it, but maybe they just need to get a different style or something, because they should need to protect themselves.
Yeah.
Ooh. Feel like we need to debate about this or find out the actual reason. Feel like we have to delve more into it, because I'm intrigued now.
Yeah.
Because people forget about shin pads now these days, don't they? It's all about how good the boots are and everything like that, or how the socks are and everything. No one talks about this anymore, so it would be interesting. No. That's the thing. I think if they say there's no legislation here, I think there should be. I can't believe that they, in their own rules, won't put that you've got to have this sort of size of shin pad to play for.
You talk about the boots as well. Like, it's a whole different ball game, but like the boots aren't as sturdy as they used to be. These like black boots, Predators, whatever they were called, that people used to wear.
Yeah.
Like, they were really tough, firm boots. And you speak to Flinny about it, and he's like, those boots like protected your ankles and everything. Yeah. He's like, there were still ankle injuries, but the boots now are flimsy. Like, it means that you get more ball control and stuff like that. So in that way, I suppose they are good. But maybe they need to go back to a point where they're getting better protection from ankles, because like I seem to think every single week I'm seeing something about ankle injuries.
Yes, bless her, Lee.
Sorry.
What's your opinion, Rebecca?
I mean, it's one of them where you're always going to want your player to be protected, and you're always going to want your player to have like the equipment that they need to be able to make it through a match. So if that means having a bigger shin pad, then that's it. And it's like the thing with shin splints and things like that. There will probably be ways that they can then adapt the socks to then be able to fit the shin pad better. Or just do what footballers do now, where there is no back of the sock and it is just one big hole. If that's what they're going to have to do, then that's what they have to do. But I think safety comes ahead of, well, it rubs my shin a bit too much, so it's a bit uncomfy sort of thing.
Yeah, I completely agree. We need to delve into it more. We need to have a debate. We need to get some footballers on.
A few now, don't we?
We need to delve into it properly, because I'm really intrigued now, Claire. Now you've brought this up. Next time I see Harvey Gilmore, I'm going to ask him, because he wears the short ones as well. Do you know what? I best stop saying that.
I'm pretty sure Solwan Smith, he wears those little tiny shin pads. Well, he always has his socks so far down that basically you might as well not bother having them on.
Who's that?
Solwan Smith.
He likes to show his face on the
things. He does, to be fair. I have got to try so I can get him on, because he does love all that, to be fair, all the media stuff.
Oh, do it. Bring him on. Bring him on. Right. League One. So let's have a quick look at League One. Any standouts, Rebecca? I'm going to come to you first. Any standouts on here?
Lincoln winning a game of football. I sounded like Josh then. I picked up on what he said.
You did. I was going to say.
I was like,
you spent too much time with him.
I always get it when Everton wins, so it's haunted me. No, I mean, a huge win for Lincoln. They have been struggling in form recently, and they've dropped away from the top six, whereas like where you usually see them floating, whether it's like 7th. I think it's their first win in 6 matches. So it has been quite a struggle for them. So
just had a look. First in 7, they lost 5 out of them 6 before.
But yeah, hopefully they can pick up from there and get their run back together, because they do seem to be one that are quite up and down, Lincoln, but they can go on like a very steady, good run of positive results. So it would be good to see them back fighting up nearer to the playoffs.
Yeah, I completely agree. One thing as well that obviously we've not mentioned yet, but some news coming from Bolton Wanderers, as everyone likes me to say. Ian Evatt, do we all agree with the parting ways with him? Did it have to happen?
Yeah, it had to happen. It's been doing such an awful job. Like, there's no way they should have been where they are now. Like, no way whatsoever. The only, like, shame of it is, you know, he always does really bad against us. They could have waited a couple of months till we play him again and then done it, you know what I mean?
Ben, do you think it was the right decision?
Yeah, I think you consider the size of the club of Bolton, they should have been competing for the top 2 spots. Personally, I mean they've always been close in that, but yeah, I just for a club like them to be sitting I know they're only 3 points outside the playoffs, but they're on a minus goal difference at the moment, and for me, it just didn't feel right, and I think it's too big of a task. I think for Ian Evatt, to be fair, as good as a playing career he had in the Football League, I think management-wise, in terms of a club like Bolton, probably didn't work for him, because I know he had time at Barrow, didn't he? And you're going from a club like Barrow, there's no disrespect to them, but for Barrow to Bolton, that's a big step up. That is the history that Bolton have got. They're an ex-Premier League side, aren't they? So yeah, I think in the circumstances, I think a fresh change is probably needed there. Normally, we wouldn't say that with teams up in near players, but I think for the context of the size of the club that Bolton are, I think it was probably justified on this occasion.
Rebecca, are you on board with it as well? Reckon it was the right decision?
Yeah, I agree with everything everyone said,
Just before I ask everybody else about their standout results, we do have Graham here, bless him, and he has been waiting very patiently. Unfortunately, though, it had to come. They haven't won, and it was against Steve Evans' Rotherham. And apparently they never win against the sides that Steve Evans manages, and he has put Rotherham away. Bad day at the office. We just weren't at it and got punished by Rotherham. Our worst performance by far. Defensively, all over the place and got what we deserved. Thankfully, Tuesday was better. Send in Tuesday's match report because we are getting onto them very, very soon. Ben, sorry, Claire.
Sorry, I was just going to say just about Rotherham. I tell you what, considering how bad their form was early on and how they were inconsistent, like they're up to mid-table now and they've not lost since like Boxing Day. So like they're in a pretty good run of form. So yeah, that was all. Sorry.
Don't be sorry. Fair play. You have your say on this podcast. You're entitled to say whatever you want. Well, when it comes to a limit. Ben, any standouts for you?
I would have gone for Wigan's win against Stevenage, actually. Which was if anyone hasn't seen the free kick from Asgard, who scored the winning goal, 95th minute, I think it was. Honestly, go and watch it. It was an unbelievable strike in that for that time of the game. And that was much needed for Wigan for where they were currently. And, with the teams in and around them at the moment, obviously Stevenage being one of them, that's a key result for them. Because Stevenage is a very hard place to go to. They have quite a good reputation at home usually, for Wigan to probably go there, probably wouldn't have been fancied, to be honest, before the game. But 95th minute, when that had been cracking trip back for those for those Latics fans and that, because especially with a goal like that, it was an incredible free kick. It was.
I'm actually torn between two, because I want to go for Wickham against Mansfield because they have lost a manager as well. I didn't know if there would be a period where they'd be quite unsettled because I know he has left. But the other one I did want to go for is actually Bristol Rovers and their 3-1 win against Barnsley. I think that is a very, very good result for them. And just to plug as well, our All About Bristol Rovers episode with Kaz, obviously CEO and founder of Her Game Too. What a really good episode it was. We learned a lot, me and Sam, with her journey through Her Game Too, Bristol Rovers, and a lot about this season as well. And that was a standout result for me. And Graham, what a win. What a win against Bolton.
Graham.
I know. Do you know what really made me laugh though? There was loads of people, and this is my humour, and it really made me laugh. Loads of people on Twitter were like, it's the inevitable instead of inevitable. And I thought it was really, really funny. I was just laughing for ages. It really cracked me up. But yeah, standouts, obviously, Charlton beating them, and he has put Bolton away, chance to bounce back after Saturday's horror show. Bolton better for the first hour, but NJ, Nathan Jones, obviously, made attacking subs, and we were better in the last 30. Great win for us, and back on track, back in the hunt.
Not 3 points away the way, Graham. I'm not sure if anyone saw that, by the way. He tweeted that there were 3 points off the playoffs.
Oh, right.
Are they 3 points off the playoff, Shah?
I'll have a look in a minute. He's put this as well. And just before we move on, I did want to point out, obviously, a very good win for Burton against Wigan as well. Massive result for, obviously, them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, bless him. You're not fake. You're not
You were
fake.
just having a blonde moment.
Exactly. We all have them. We all have them. I'm getting the hiccups as well, so please bear with me if I end up hiccuping during the table. But League One. So top of the table, we have Birmingham City on 56 points. Wycombe Wanderers are second on 54 points. Wrexham are third on 51 points. Huddersfield Town are fourth on 48 points. Barnsley are fifth on 42 points. Stockport County are sixth on 41 points. And then in the relegation zone, no change there. We obviously have Crawley Town, who are 21st on 21 points. Shrewsbury Town are 22nd on 20 points. Burton Albion are 23rd on 18 points. And Cambridge United are bottom on 18 points. I didn't realise how bad Peterborough were this season.
Yeah.
I know they were struggling, but my God.
But also, like, look at that. Like, both Burton and Cambridge already 8 points, like, deep into the relegation zone. Like, at this point, got a fear for them, haven't you?
Wow, that is mental. Some of them teams near the bottom.
The big clubs at the bottom, actually, as well. You know, Peterborough's and your Wigans and all that. I didn't expect them to be that far down the table. They play to the promoting side. So how tough a league it is, you know, how they've done this year.
Thanks, Ben.
No worries.
That's really shocked me because I tend to see them. I know they've had some quite big losses, Peterborough, recently, but they've been picking up quite a few draws as well, haven't they? But my God, I didn't realise it was that bad.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, well, he's put you Reds. Graham has put as well.
In the Hollywood derby today, didn't they?
Graham has put as well 2 home games coming up. Shrewsbury on Saturday and Bristol Rovers Tuesday. So need to make most of them. 5 of our next 7 games are at home. I think so. Massive chance if we can capitalise on that.
5 home games and 7's a good thing, isn't it? Bloody hell.
Right, let's go to... She's been waiting. She's been waiting so patiently, bless her. Rebecca, talk to us about Accrington or your dedicated fixture. Anything you want to chat about. You've been patiently waiting for us.
I've been waiting this whole time to talk a 3-0 defeat.
Talk about the dedicated fixture instead.
The dedication to the podcast. No, I mean, I'll get to the match, but as you've mentioned, it was our dedicated fixture, and any way that I can tell anyone about this, I will. It was a really successful day from a Her Game 2 perspective. We did everything that we had planned in terms of we provided the women's toilets with free sanitary ware like we do every match, so we were able to restock that. We did Her Game 2 ASFC cowboy hats, which I painted and decorated myself.
It was so cool. Them, I want one. I saw it. I was like, I need one of them in my life.
Yeah, so last year we did the glasses, and then we thought, how can we one-up it this time? So we did cowboy hats. And which a big highlight for me was all of the players were so up for getting involved, and each and every one of them put the hat on. We even had one of our new lads, Charlie Caton, I did feel very sorry for him. He got announced on the Thursday, I think it was playing his first match and his first welcome to Aki. Is me stood there with a cowboy hat being like, can I put this on for our dedication?
He's never got it anywhere else, so I bet. One for the memory box.
Unique.
Yeah. He did. He was a bit scared that this was part of his initiation, but we're able to explain. No, it was. It was our dedicated fixture. But yeah, all of the lads were more than happy to get involved, and it was just such a positive day. And the feedback we've got from fans since were a lot more are now aware of the Her Game Too campaign. They know what it stands for, and they've also just understood why we have to do what we do. Another highlight was seeing all of the players coming out of the changing room wearing the Her Game Too logo on their t-shirt. We've got like a whole squad photo -2 because they were stood chatting. But yeah, it was just a really positive day. We got lots of photos and everything. It was really good. I don't think I've stopped smiling since. And then we got sent over loads of like the professional photos. And then I think I look like a little turtle in half of them because I've just got the hat on my back. So it's like round my neck. So I just look like a little turtle.
Love that.
Beck, where is your hat?
It's in another room. I can go and get it if you want. Right, give me 1 second.
Yeah. I'm so happy, right? Because I came across, I rewatched the podcast back, the Premier League one on Tuesday, because I was at the Dale game, and Josh kept mentioning and hinting about the cowboy hat, and she didn't go and get it. So I feel privileged now that on this show she's gone and got the cowboy hat.
Wait, I don't know if it'll work. There it is.
Oh, I love that.
Howdy, cowgirl.
I was just saying, Rebecca, I rewatched the Premier League podcast back, and I was thinking Josh were hinting at you getting the hat, and obviously you didn't get it, and I feel privileged now that you brought it onto this show. So thank you.
It was only right, seeing it is the Lower League podcast, that
love it.
It has to make an appearance. But yeah, so to the match. I'm still confused as to what formation we started with. We had Josh Woods, who is our striker, our go-to man in the middle, up top. Sometimes he plays on the wing. We had him as left back.
What?
We had our striker playing as left back, yet we have Jake Batty, who is on loan from Blackburn, who is our go-to left back. He has returned from injury and was on the bench, but we decided, let's put Josh Woods, who isn't a left back, as left back.
Have you got Keith Hill as your manager? Because he did that to Joe Bunny. He converted Joe Bunny from a striker to a left back.
I think the similar happened a few seasons ago for us with Matt Law. I think he was our number 9, but he played more as, I think he was our right back. So I don't know why we did it. I know, because at the minute we have been playing Ben Woods as right back. Ben Woods is a midfielder, but it just seemed to, on Saturday, playing Josh Woods as left back, I think confused everyone, and we still don't know why. And it just seemed to be we were a bit lost in the first half in terms of there wasn't much we could do. We've got a very strong midfield pairing of Sean Morley and Dan Martin, but with this weird formation, they were separated, so Dan wasn't really able to get into the match, and then we just lost it from there. And it's like 2-0 down at half time. You've got McGoldrick, who he is on another level, and it does show like ex-Prem. It's another level in League Two in comparison to we're struggling to even be able to sign National League players, and then you've got others that are there like getting ex-Prem players on contract. So it is a whole different level. But I mean, going in at half time, 2-0 down, it wasn't great for us. We did finally make the changes at half time. We brought on Conor O'Brien in his natural position of right back, so we were able to move Ben Woods into midfield. We brought on Jake Batty, so we had a left back on the pitch rather than having a striker there. And then we also brought on Charlie Caton to make his Aki debut. We did have a bit more of a positive second half. we had chances coming in from Jake Batty. He was an incredible game changer for us. Charlie, he fit in well as a striker, but it just wasn't our day. I don't know what was going on, but I think like 2-0 down at half time, the heads were just gone, and then news came out after that one of our centre backs, Zach Orr, who we have on loan from Southampton, has ruptured his Achilles.
Worst injury.
So he is now back at Southampton, we believe, because it's a season-ending injury. And the partnership of him and Rawson has been like an incredible centre-back partnership that we worked hard to be able to get them to the point that they were at, because we did have our defensive issues at the beginning of the season. And then it's like for him to finally have the partnership and be doing as well as he is, and then for this injury to happen in training as well. It wasn't in a match. It's quite a hard-hitting one, so wish him a speedy recovery, and hopefully if he can return to Wacky next season potentially and finish out his loan, because he will definitely be missed as part of Wacky. We have signed a centre-back in replacement in Ben Ward from Burnley, so we'll be able to see how he fits into the back line and the partnership.
Not that you ever wish that kind of injury on anybody, but it's the best time of year for it to happen while the transfer window's open.
Yeah, I get that, because I don't think we've got any other like proper centre backs at the club, so it would have been a scary one for us. But yeah, we've signed Ben Ward, so hopefully him and Rawson can have like a good centre back pairing, and we'll be able to push up the league. We've got Jay Batty back, as I said, so having that actual left back playing in the position that he should be, and having your back four back with the addition of Sonny Al-Joffrey. So hopefully we can get things back and get moving, but it is just, if he plays Josh Woods as left back again, I think I'll stand there and cry at Crew, because I don't know. But yeah, Crew's next. The goals for Notts County, they were well worked, good team goals. As weird as this is going to sound, I was very happy I saw Charlie Whittaker make his Notts County debut. He signed from Everton, and he was one of my favourite academy players at Everton. And I was also able to get a picture with him, in which he was very confused as to why an Aki fan was asking him for a photo. But yeah, so I was very happy that he made his debut. He didn't score, so we're fine. I can say this, but my prediction was it would just be our luck he came on and scored, which he nearly did. But yeah, it was a positive day, but the result weren't great. But I think everything that came with it, it was just the result didn't mean out at the end of it for me.
You are right though. McGoldrick is unbelievable for that level of football.
Yeah.
What player?
Sorry, my back's really hurting. I just had a moment, and when you move around. Oh no, I'm so happy. Obviously, everything went well, Rebecca, and I love the pictures as well. Looking through all the pictures, I was like, oh, it proper melted my heart. Especially because you've worked so hard and stuff, so you should be really proud. And I know how much of a proud moment it is as well, when obviously you get all the players on board, but that moment when they all come out in the shirts and everything, it's like, all right, I helped do this. And you just, I love that. Well done.
And it was like we were able to get Jed in the hat as well, so our assistant manager. So
I love it.
Great. But we weren't able to grab Doolin. I think he snuck in at one point. But yeah, we were able to get the assistant manager. But it was just, it's like how positive the players are in like support of the campaign. I mean, you saw the videos in the build up to it midweek, like they were all more than happy to help. And I think it was like Ben Woods and Tyler Waltons I got sent the night before we posted it the day after, and it was just like they were all so happy to help. And then it's like, as you said, the moment where like your favourite players are just running past you.
I wasn't, by the way, everyone. I'd just do it live and air and cock me leg up, Dan. You know what I mean? Northern bird.
Yeah, it's like when you see your favourite player wearing like the cowboy hat or wearing the Her Game To You logo, and it's just like, I helped to make this happen, and yeah, it's a really good moment.
Oh no, I say it every single week, but you should be so proud. Literally everything you do, as well as uni, as well as all the Her Game 2 stuff, not just football, all of it, all the podcasts. You should be so proud of yourself. But I say it every week, we are all so proud. So
yes,
we love you, Rebecca. We love you. We mean that as well.
Girl.
Exactly.
I know when you say like, how the hell do you have time for like so many teams and different sports? I don't mean it in a bad way. I'm just like, where do the hours come from? Fair play to you, kid. Fair play.
Thank you.
Oh, look.
Yeah,
everyone loves you, Rebecca. You're our favourite.
Keep doing what you love doing.
And I'm so happy you brought that cowboy hat out on our show. I feel like I've accomplished something now. So I can be like, yeah, it's been on our show, not anyone else's, just mine.
There you go, Josh.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Obviously, before we go on to the rest of the results in League Two, Jen is in the chat, bless her. We don't know too much about the situation. Obviously, she's not on a podcast tonight. She will be obviously on next week, and she'll talk about it a lot more. But some quite sad news came out today about Markham. It's not looking good at the minute, is it? But yeah, I just wanted to say, obviously, Jen, we are all with you. We all stand with you. If there's anything we can do, as always, please let us know. I know you will come on and speak about it whenever you can. But if there's anything we can do in the meantime, whether it be another Twitter space like we did last time, if there's any information or anything we need to get out there to share, please, 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 please let us know, because we all want to help in whatever way we can. Whatever way we can.
100%. Jason out.
Yeah, Jason out. I think we should have that, like in our little name tags instead of our own like socials. We should have hashtag Jason out.
Next week you should do, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I even put my little red thing for Markham today. That's why we've gone with red, the theme. But yeah, 100% all of this. But please let us know, Jen, if there's anything, or if there's any other Markham fans in the chat, if there's anything all of us can do, because we've all been in similar situations as well, and we're completely behind you every step of the way. Every step of the way. But League Two results from the weekend. Rebecca, I'll come to you as well first. Any standouts or any you want to talk about?
I mean, Swindon are on a very good run at the moment, and I think a 2-0 win against Barrow is a very strong one. Like, they are doing very well for that. I think that's like the main one for me, just how well and good of a run that they're on at the minute, and then can also see them starting to pull away from the bottom as well. So it is like the points that people are picking up, and there are quite a few results going in club's way at the minute, I think. Especially with like Carlisle, the Bradford beating Carlisle, it was another one where it's unfortunate for Carlisle, but like, I'm not saying this in any bad way, but it keeps Carlisle away from us.
You've got to be selfish, though. You have got to be selfish and think about your club. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, because I just don't want to offend any Carlisle fans out there, but it's like...
Don't worry.
that Carlisle thing, it confuses the hell out of me. How they absolutely wadded. They've just got relegated and they're doing so badly again. Like, how? Make it make sense.
Yeah. All I'm going to say is if they go down, I don't want to go up next year, because you know how long it takes for us to get to Carlisle. More than Kate said, I'll tell you that.
I need you to come up. You better come up.
No, I want to at this moment in time. I'm quite happy where we are.
What about us?
Get a flight. It's probably cheaper to get a flight.
Probably would be. I'd rather pay extra money for that than spend 7 hours on a coach or a car somewhere. Gosh, please. Kill me.
Oh, Jen has put Maidstone versus Morecambe away. Get me there.
Well, I'd accept that one. I would, because I'd love to go to Morecambe's ground. It'd be another new one for me for a start. But hopefully, from the greatest bit possible, that doesn't happen next year, because I hope they stay up. So that's what. Hopefully.
What about us though? I've just offered you like a trip to Scotland again to see me.
Well, yeah, but my last visit wasn't great because it was a long day. I didn't get home till like 5 morning. You made me come up on a Tuesday night because you lot scored last minute at the FA Cup and denied us a famous win.
Yeah, but you can stay over the time.
What did you say then, Claire?
I said he can stay over now that he knows us.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
We'll go bowling, Ben.
Yay!
We'll find out who wins.
For a change.
Oh, that was funny. Just before, obviously, we talk about the rest of the fixtures, there is a little bit in the chat. Bless her. Jenna's put, I've cried too many times today. We have the money but can't touch it until he proves he can fund the club until the end of May. Luckily, the lads and Derek are in good spirits. We are so lucky to have him. And then she has put, love you all so much. Hopefully better news next week. I just feel awful for Dallas, who came in today to collect his boots and leave.
Yeah, that's mad, that, because he was about to sign, weren't he?
Yeah.
Waiting for that clearance from the...
I know. Chris has put, how the EFL don't come in and help is frustrating and disgusting. We've seen it several times. Honestly, it's an absolute shambles. I just don't... It angers me. Graham has put, new owners came in last year. Oh, this is about Carlisle, sorry. New owners came in last year, knew they'd be relegated and prepared for this year, and are now looking cert for the double dip. I agree.
Yeah, it's mad.
I agree. Do you know what, as well? Carlisle is one of the coldest grounds I have ever been to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Proper ground.
It's freezing.
You're really selling it to me, Char.
Oh, it's so cold. If you think Rochdale's cold, Ben, you'll have a cracking time in Carlisle.
When I went to Stockport a few years ago when we played in the FA Trophy, I was really warm on that day. That's the warmest I've ever been going up north. I didn't have a coat on. It was bear in mind it was February as well.
Oh, you bloody won it all, didn't you?
No, we didn't. We lost. You beat us in the replay.
Oh God, yeah.
You'd done us 3-0 in the replay. We were awful. I remember that. I got a comment. That was the worst game I've ever commentated on in my life.
I tell you what, just looking at like them results there, like I know they've been top for a little while, but like just Walsall continuing to smash it.
Mm-hmm.
They're like something stupid, like 12 points clear at this.
Have a look.
15 points clear of Wimbledon.
Yeah, like look at that game in hand as well. I mean, albeit not over Wimbledon, but over the two behind them.
They're going up, let's be honest. Like, if they mess it up from here now, like if they don't deserve to go up at all, even if they finish in the playoffs, they have got to win that league now with that unassailable lead, even at this stage of the season.
Yeah,
15 points in games, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
Do you know what really made me laugh though? Like up until recently, none of us were really talking about Walsall, were we? Like we've completely gone under the radar, and then it's not until like recent weeks and you take a step back and you think, whoa, fair play to him. It's a bit like I was with Salford. Like last week, I was doing a graphics and I was like, oh my God, how far we climbed. Last time I looked, we were near relegation.
I know, yeah. And the biggest compliment I think you can pay to Walsall out of everything, not that obviously we're not experts, but I'm pretty sure none of us selected them to go up.
No.
This, what? Oh, Gillingham.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm really intrigued to know. I know it was only the first game, but what are you thinking at the moment about John Coleman? Because obviously, Rebecca, it's someone you're really familiar with, isn't it? And it's mental, isn't it? Because you're so used to seeing him with Accrington. It's just mental seeing him at another club. Like, can't get used to it.
Have you still got to play him again this season, Rebecca?
Sorry.
Have you still got to play Gillingham again this season?
Yeah, we've got him at home.
Oh, that should be interesting.
We've got John and Jamie coming back, and then Jack Nolan as well, who was like our leading goal scorer last season.
Oh, she was.
So, it is a bit weird seeing him at Gillingham. I think Aki fans reacted to it in a way of like, it is what it is. Like at the end of the day, got sacked, and I think every Aki fan is always going to have like the soft spot for John and Jimmy. I think there's like a John Coleman Appreciation Society banner that goes everywhere with some of the fans. So it is one of them. It's like, I don't think there's any love lost, but it'll be interesting to see how him and Jack Nolan get on again at Gillingham. That'll be an interesting one.
Jack Nolan.
Yeah. John Coleman isn't the issue. We knew that. I know there was quite a few Gillingham fans asking me, obviously his time at Rochdale, and I kind of said like, he didn't really get the time and stuff. You're best off asking Accrington. And a few of my friends who are Gillingham fans as well have said the players, it's kind of the same team who are through like, is it 2 or 3 managers under the bus now? So I think, as he said, I don't think it's a manager that is the problem at the minute. But if someone's going to sort it out, Rebecca, it's going to be John Coleman and Jimmy Bell, because they won't take any nonsense, will they?
No, they won't. As long as they don't beat us, I'm fine.
Yeah. This is a massive talking point as well. We did mention Walsall, and Sam's right. I forgot to mention this. Obviously, Nathan Lowe did get recalled back to Stoke. So it'll be really interesting if we can still keep it up, or whether
Well, it wasn't there on Saturday, was it? And they still scored 4. So
true. Any standouts on here before we move on to the midweek ones? Anyone wants to talk about?
I mean, to be honest, it's not necessarily in terms of a significant win, in terms of, or surprise result, but Wimbledon beating Tranmere. How far have Tranmere slipped down that table? Or like it's down completely.
They're been with Badoni as well.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. But that's the thing. It just shows like how, let's say, fickle football fans are, because obviously this was the owner that got them from National League back into League One, and now they're on the brink of dipping all the way right back down to where they started. Like that's the thing. They are in real danger of going back into the National League, which for a big club like Tranmere, they shouldn't be anywhere near that. And not saying any club's too big to go into that league, because look at the amount of clubs that have gone into the National League. But if they could well be one of those ones to slip out again. So it could be a good chance for Morecambe to capitalise on it if they could just get a couple of wins again under their belt and really give themselves a chance. Then for all we know, Nigel Atkins' side might well be in for non-league football again next year. But it's concerning down there for those Tranmere fans.
Definitely.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say.
No, you're fine. Go on, Rebecca.
We've got our 4th trip to Tranmere in a few weeks on a Tuesday night. 4th. We played them in 2 cups. We then went on Boxing Day and it got postponed, and the fans were already there. So a 4th journey to Tranmere. Have we won at Tranmere yet? No.
I've just got a big trip here. But it's not a trip. Otherwise, you'd be fuming, wouldn't you?
I thought you'd get a discount at Tranmere by now. The amount of trips you've had.
Loyalty card. How many stamps you get on your card? You get a free coffee or something. Free pie. Oh, mate, I'd go Tranmere if I got free pies. I'd go every round.
I think the supporters trusted Aki are giving the fans that travel to Tranmere free coach travel. So that is a nice touch for that. But I don't know how 4 times travelling to Tranmere.
At least you won't get lost, though. At least you know the way. If we need directions, I'm coming to you, Rebecca. You're my girl for this one. In the chat, we have Raj as well. He's put, we are on a decent run. Obviously, he's a Bradford fan. 1 game at a time. Hi, guys, including a big hello to my friend Charlotte. Hello, hope you're okay. I don't care about Tranmere so long as we beat them on Saturday. Obviously, Chris has put Swindon with a big win over Barrow. I don't know what's going on at Barrow. Sat the manager now. I know that's obviously where Solihull's manager went. One thing I do want to point out as well, Fleetwood, obviously, Pete Wild is there. He has gone there, and obviously he's turning things around at the minute. I think they did win midweek as well, did they? Yeah. So obviously the 2-0 win away at Salford, which I think was a massive win, to be fair, because as we mentioned, Salford have been really on a good run at the minute. And then obviously midweek beating MK Dons at home. I mean, it's always good seeing anyone beat MK, isn't it, really? But I really like Pete Wild, me. And I think that's a really well-suited club for him, because I think it's kind of a similar structure to like your Barrows and stuff and your Halifaxes. I think the football he plays and brings in, I think will suit the team. He's very good on certain budgets as well. Pete Wild, he's got the experience, but also he's from round here as well, so it's not the furthest to travel. And I think he's recently had like a young baby as well with his wife. So yeah, I think it's a well-suited club for him. And something I love, I've said time and time again on this podcast, what I love the most is, even when he was like Barrow's manager, he has a grassroots team in the same league as my little boy, Bobby. And I remember talking to him one Sunday morning. It was actually a 8:30 kickoff, and he barely had any sleep because we just got home, funny enough, from Gillingham away. And then it was a 8:30 kickoff managing a Shoreside team, obviously local to him, an Oldham team. And I just love the fact that even though he has gone into, and he's a well-established manager now in the Football League, isn't he? Like, he's a very good manager and very intelligent as well. Yeah. Like his football, but he still takes the time to give something back to the community. And honestly, these young lads who he manages in the Shoreside team, they're absolutely brilliant, and he sets them up like an actual like football league team, and they are honestly absolute quality. And I just love that about Pete Wild. And yeah, that's why I really love seeing him do well, because he's just a genuine guy as well, and I love that about Pete Wild.
You know what, as well, like even like cuter than that, like his first job in football was with England amputees.
I know.
Like, how nice is that? Like, I love him.
I love Pete Wild so
I
much.
don't think many people don't like Pete Wild, though. He's just one of the likeable people in football, isn't he?
He is. He really, really is. And I'm so glad that he's back into this. And I'm really glad as well he didn't jump at the chance to go to a different club, because I know there's been a lot of interest from other clubs.
Yeah.
Who wanted Pete Wild, and I'm glad he took a little bit of time, because it's not been a long amount of time, to be fair, but he stepped back a bit, took a lot of time for himself. Obviously, he's got things going on with his family, as I mentioned. I'm sure from what I know, he's got like a younger child who does play football. I think it's actually for his team, and then he's recently had like, obviously him and his wife have had another, but I feel like with him, he's kind of stepped back for a bit, and this is the right job for him. Everything about this job with Fleetwood fits perfectly with him. And I'm not saying he could do anything this season, because you don't really know, because let me have a quick look in the table, sorry.
They're like mid-season.
Now, to be fair though, they are 13th, so they're not a million miles off. But if they don't obviously kind of get anywhere this season, maybe they'll give him some money this transfer window. I'm not 100% sure, but you think if he gets that summer transfer window and what he's done, as I mentioned, with the likes of Halifax and Barrow, pretty much nothing really on a budget, what he can then do with Fleetwood, I think next season they could possibly be contenders up there. I'm not saying full on like winning the league, but I think they'll definitely be minimum playoffs. I think they'll be in with a shout if he has like, I don't know about this transfer window if he links with anyone, but especially next transfer window, the summer one, I think that could be really interesting. And then I do want to kind of keep tabs on Fleetwood, because I think he'll do a very good job there.
I think he will.
Love Pete Wild. It's going to be my goal to try and get him on this podcast. What a guy. It was one of them, like a passing like thing, so hopefully he's not forgot about me. Hopefully. But League Two, so top of the League Two table, we do have Walsall on 58 points, Crewe Alexandra are second on 46 points, Port Vale are third on 44 points, AFC Wimbledon are fourth on 43 points, Notts County are fifth on 43 points. Doncaster are sixth on 43 points. Salford City are seventh on 42 points. And then, unfortunately, in the relegation zone, we have Morecambe, who are 23rd on 20 points, and Carlisle United are bottom on 18 points. I'm getting these hiccups. I can feel them. Hopefully, they'll last until I've got off this podcast. But it's been a long one.
Boom!
You didn't scare me.
Oh.
Thank you for trying, though.
My iPad kind of froze. So you made the face, but the sound came like a second later.
Oh, I love it. But yeah, it's been a long one, but it's been quite an enjoyable one. I feel like we've covered quite a lot today, which is good. Yeah. And especially the National League. I've enjoyed talking National League for a while.
It was nice. It was nice to have a bit more chat about that level.
Definitely. But of course, everybody wants to find all of you on your socials. Ben, you go first. Where can everybody find you? Apart from Carlisle away next season.
No, please not. I don't want to think about it. If you want to find me on Ben Stones FC1 on Twitter. If you want any updates on Matchday United, that's where it's to find it. Apart from our Twitter page, obviously. No, come on, gonna be top of the league next week. I can feel it.
Love it. Rebecca, where can everybody find you and all the lovely, fantastic work that you do?
You can find me here, _Rebecca.
Hey, she got it wrong for once.
Got it wrong. Oh, she is human after all.
iPad, I think. Is it different?
On my iPad, I pointed to where it was.
You're pointing to your curtain.
That's where my name is on mine. It's like here.
No. Just point the other side, Rebecca.
I'll screenshot it because I'm not.
It did to me once. It did me dirty.
Just point the other side anyway.
I just won't point. You can find me _Rebecca _shot_ and that is on Twitter and TikTok. You can find my Her Game 2 content at Her Game 2 ASFC, where there will be maybe a bit more content coming out from the dedicated fixture. All of the photos from the day are on the Aki website, so if you want the link, I can send it over. And then my Her Game 2 Ice Hockey content is Her Game 2 Ice Hockey, and then you can find me and the wonderful Jen with Girls in the Grandstand, where hopefully we'll be filming a new podcast very soon.
Love that.
Keep him busy, girlie.
Definitely smashing it all too.
Thank you. And absolutely maybe crying in crew on Saturday.
Oh, no, definitely not.
If we have a striker as a left back again.
I wanted to just address this as well. I'm so sorry. I really hope she's okay, Sean. Sending so much love to you, your nan, and your family.
Yeah, same.
Bless. Everyone's saying about please take care in the storm. Don't worry, remember guys, I have my takeaway. I won't be blown away or falling down any grids anytime soon. I'll be here next week. Oh, Johnny, please tell us your news. And if anybody does want to find me, I am why laughing. If anybody wants to find me, I am SharXRAFC. That is on Twitter. It's on Instagram and it's on TikTok because I'm trying to get down with the kids. And my Her Game 2 stuff is Rochdale HDT. The most important ones, though, the Absolute Football Podcast. And as you all know, we did win Best New Content Creator at the Football Content Awards. I am still in shock at that. I mean, wow, what a moment. What a moment. On Twitter, we are Absolute Ball Pod. On YouTube and Twitch, we are Absolute Football Podcast. On TikTok, we are Absolute Football Pod. On Instagram, we are Absolute Football Podcast _ On Blue Sky, we are Absolute Football. And on Facebook, we are the Absolute Football Podcast. We are Absolutely Premier League on a Tuesday, Absolutely Women's Football on a Wednesday, and then obviously on a Thursday, you can catch us, the lower league team, where we cover the EFL Championship, League 1, League 2, Vanarama National League, and the Vanarama National League North and South. So that is on a Thursday. Johnny as well. He said he had a meeting about setting up a podcast. Oh, that's brilliant. Well done. Hope everything goes well with that. Bless. Sean's put cheers, everyone. She's only just got out of hospital from a fractured hip last week.
I'm glad
really hope she's okay. Bless. And yeah, I'm going to do something different, right? I am also the designated happy birthday singer. I am on the podcast tonight because obviously it's our lower league show, but it is my stepdad's 50th birthday today. So I am going to sing to him. But not only is it his birthday today, it's another special person in any Rochdale fan's life tomorrow. The GOAT, Mr. Ian Henderson, number 40, is actually 40 tomorrow. His testimonial season, which I think is just, honestly, he's amazing. I love my stepdad so much. I love Hendo so much. So it's only right I close this show by singing happy birthday to both of them. So who wants to count me in?
3, 2, 1, hit it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Stu, my stepdad, and Hendo. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip.
Hooray!
Hope you all have a lovely. Oh, thank you. Hope you all have a lovely, lovely weekend, everybody, and please stay safe in this storm.